You know what I'm saying? Simply the best. Better than all the rest. Sing with me, Miss O'Shun. Better than everyone. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Best. Okay. I am back again. Yes, we are back again. We are back again. All right. We are back again. I have a question. You know what I'm saying? Lola, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
I had another song in my mind, but it'll come to me later on. But before I get into my hypothesis and my ethos and everything else, right? Before I was like get into my curriculum, you know what I mean? I gotta give a shout out to Embrace the Grace. You know what I'm saying? Salute, salute, salute. Everybody, please make sure you like and subscribe to Embrace the Grace. Embrace the Grace. If you would like, if you like to come up. Y'all know, look, y'all already know the deal. My link is pinned in the chat. As I said, I dodge no talking points, no controversy, no smoke, no nothing. Whatever you have that you want to bring to me, bring it. Okay? You want to do a competitive or comparative videos, or you want to talk about talking points I used to have before. Whatever you want to do, I am here for it. Okay? But let me get to my topic at hand. Okay? Topic at hand is, you know what I mean? Why is there so much hypocrisy in the modern world? Y'all see it? And also salute to my man, Eater Man Williams. Okay? Salute Eater Man Williams. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to everybody that y'all see pulling up, man. Embrace the Grace. Yo, she be having some great conversations just about just real issues that people go through. And Eater Man Williams, man, he really gives some solid life advice, okay? Remember, this is advice. You don't have to follow it. He thinks that you should follow it, okay? You ask him, he's going to say you should follow it, all right? You know what I mean? You know I love Eater Man. You know how we get down, brother. But he's going to tell you should. But Eater Man gives a lot of insightful advice, and he backs it up with different things that he gives you a lot of different things that are factual within you know, his beliefs. So look, he believes these things are factual. I'm not going to argue with the man, okay? You know what I mean? But I'll just say this. He backs it up with his own evidence that he comes up with. So salute to him. You know what I mean? So my question is, today, and definitely, I got to give a shout out to the person on the panel. All right? Make sure y'all basically subscribe to, you know, the Love Experience. Also, the Real Serious B. You know what I mean? Also, Average at Best, and definitely, okay, Game of Dragons TV. Woo! That Game of Dragons, man, let me stop. And I got a special preview for Game of Dragons TV I'm dropping. You know what I mean? But that's going to be at the end of the show. Okay, that's at the end of the show. All right? But my question, right, is, Miss O'Shun, why is there so much hypocrisy in a modern world? I'm talking about YouTube. I'm talking about everywhere else. Family members, everything. And like I did yesterday, I'm going to address everything, as I always do. I'm going to hit all talking points. All right? But why is there so much hypocrisy in the modern world?
I'm going to be honest. I think the answer is in the question, because it's the modern world. The modern world is a world where everything is based on perception, not actuality. It's just the perception of it all that makes it where as though it works. Like if I can convince you to perceive me a certain way or perceive this product a certain way, then everything is okay, as long as perceptions is there, right? Not actual facts, not actual results. It's just a perception. And let me be clear about something, right? When it comes to the modern world, I don't think the modern world is 2023. The modern world goes all the way back up until, I want to say, somewhere around the 1800s is where the modern world starts to take flight, right? So when I say, well, perception, I mean literally like perception. The perception of freedom was sold to people. That was part of the modern world. The perception of the reality that we live in a safe place, right? That's a perception. That's not reality, you know? There's a lot of perceptions out here, like social media. That's all about perception. You see me? Like, you know, everybody wants you to think that their life is perfect. That's about perception. Like, you know, as long as I can sell you an image online and you can press like, or, you know, tell me that, you know, I'm talking real shit, Like, that's the perception of it all. That's all that it's about. It's just about, will you perceive what I want you to perceive based on what I put in front of you? Boom. That's all that it's about. It's not about anything real. Nobody's going to give you, I'm not going to say nobody, but in reality, the problem with the modern world is that everything flies as long as it's perceived a certain way. Now, the second it's not perceived a certain way is the second now you got trouble. When you try to convince me that you are for the community, right? As long as I perceive your life to be a certain way, it works. Second, I can perceive your life to be different from what you're trying to convince me of when it comes to what you're trying to promote in your quote unquote community. That's when everything goes to hell in a handbasket. When the perception is gone and the reality is just there, you see what I'm saying? Sort of like this brother polite crap. That right there, that's where the problem is, right there. So modern reality has made it where as though you can, as long as you can fool some of the people somewhere, you all right. Just as long as you can fool some of them, because you can. You know why? Because all you gotta do is hide behind a button. There's no real ramifications to the things that you do in your real life behind what you hide behind. Like all the people that got scammed out of their money, all the people who basically their lives got totally flipped upside down behind people that gave them a perception versus the reality that they were in. And this, it's not just on social media. Same thing with politicians. The perception that we are a progressive nation. What gave people the perception that your rights can't be taken away from you at any given moment? Like, what told you that you had rights? Like, the perception that you have rights, the perception that things cannot be taken away from you. And keep in mind, a right is something that's granted to you. It can be taken away for whatever reason the grantor deems necessary. That has always been our reality. But now that we have our rights being taken away from us in terms of all these gun rights, abortion rights, what's that thing called affirmative action rights?
Yeah, affirmative action thing. Yep.
Everything is being walked back. But it's like at the end of the day, this was a whole, let's say, smoke screen to begin with. A whole smoke screen. It's like you never had a quote unquote natural right to do anything. There's no such thing as somebody granting you a natural right. Your natural right is something that you enforce that no one can take away from you. So I don't understand the perception that, oh, you got all these rights. No, you don't. No, you don't. But here's the thing. Modern society has it where as though as long as you can perceive that you got something, everything is good to go. As long as the perception is there, everything's fine until it ain't fine. That's the answer to that.
Hold on. Boom! You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Simon is in the building. Boom, boom, boom. All right? And listen, if you feel like any one of us on this panel is being hypocritical, please come up and share your views, okay? Yeah. Now understand, if you share that view, all right, be ready for whatever we're going to say after that, okay? All right? So be ready to back up your claim, all right? Because we're going to hold your ass to it. You know what I mean? Simon, boom, what's going on, baby?
Yo, what's up? What's up?
What's up, Simon?
Yo. Yeah, I mean, natural selection. What the? Yo, I mean, is there such a thing? Is there such a thing as natural selection? And what does that mean? Because a lot of people will have a lot of opinions about that. The fact of the matter is, you know, I may agree or disagree, but some people are just built how they are. You know, it's like Mr. Best in the world is Mr. Best in the freaking world.
That's right. The best.
Facts. You can't get over or under that shit. Like Miss O'Shawn is Miss O'Shawn. You can't get over or under that shit. You're not gonna see any other than us. Now, I had a whole conversation with someone the other day. She was like, "Oh, your name's Simon." Okay. I was like, "Okay, yeah, my name's Simon." You Google my name, okay? Google my name. My name's Simon. Okay. There'll be Simon Smith, Simon, John, Simon, this, that, whatnot. Yo, if you really know my surname, you understand I'm unique. I'm the only one, and I will be the only one forevermore. That's facts. So, what I'm talking about is people pertaining to facts. They don't want to really appreciate that shit. I'll bring you to, like, you know, a forest and go, yo, you see that tree? You see the partridge? And this is what someone else done to me. It was the guy from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The guy that played the butler. He turned around to me and he was like, yo, Simon, look in that tree. There's a partridge. Did you see the partridge? I was like, nah, I didn't see the partridge. He's like, well, you're not seeing shit. Yo, I got to speak to Will Smith tomorrow. I was like, God damn, you're smoking? You're sitting on my bench smoking. I was like, God damn, I ain't seen that on the fucking like TV. I'm like, oh, okay. Next thing I knew, I was in his house and I was producing shit for his daughter that was going into university. I was like, God damn, this world ain't real. What we see on the internet and what we see on TV and everything that we want to pertain ourselves to is not real unless you get with the real. So salute to you, brothers and sisters.
Okay, Simon. So that's your answer for why there's so much hypocrisy in the world. Okay. All right, I'm with you. Now let me say this, right? All right. Now, I believe that there's so much hypocrisy in the world because people, right, it's very, very hard for them to actually, you know, and I know y'all see the if y'all can't see the background, I'm explaining the background, even the thumbnail. I'll explain the thumbnail to you. You see Batman on one side, you see Two-Face on the other. Y'all don't know if y'all want to be superheroes. And salute to Just Star Misdemeanor. Also salute to Chocolate Earth Foundation. My sister Chocolate was good. Say, hey, Woman Panda, what's going on? You know what I mean? Y'all already know y'all can always pull up. Niggas in the chat. What's good?
What's up, Chocolate?
Listen, right? I think there's so much hypocrisy in the modern world because of just based on the fact of we are told different things. We believe certain concepts about this world that is not true, right? So if you're already getting up believing things that are not true, your life is going to be lived in the same way, okay? It's not going to change anything, all right? Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to speak to the hypocrisy in social media. Let's go here first because that's what we're here for, right? Let's just get into it, right? A lot of times we'll see on social media, right? And I know Lola's going to love this, right? Let's get it. You know, you hear people say, oh, you know what I mean? You got to have dick discipline. You can't do this with the women. And you women you gotta start not giving it up to these men, okay? All the men fall, all the women fall. You women are the ones, you women are the blame, okay? But yet they'll turn around, right? And they not practicing no type of discipline, right? There ain't no discipline to be found in them, right? You know what I'm saying? But yet they want women to be so disciplined and modest or whatever. But yet y'all not displaying that behavior in your own life. You know what I'm saying? So, and before you even come to me, I ain't never said that I'm some righteous, just selling and I never. Oh my gosh, lewd women. I never look at lewd women. Oh my gosh, no, I don't never sit there and say that. You guys say that. You make it seem like y'all not even attracted to women. The way y'all talk. So I'm really starting to question some of you guys' sexuality, man. Maybe some of you guys in the manosphere, maybe some of y'all play for the other field, right? And look, if you don't like women like that, it's fine. We're not going to judge you here, right? It's a judgment-free zone, okay? Judgment-free zone. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to judge you, all right? But stop trying to make it seem, you know what I mean? That the women are so immoral and they're so this and they're so wrong and look at them. And you guys are not moral at all. You know what I mean? You're lying on your Patreons. You're lying on your YouTube channels. You're lying everywhere. Everything. You're lying about your businesses. Everything about you is a lie. But yet you want to blame it on All right, and then you want to blame it on a black woman. But really, the issue is this: is that the women that you blame it on, these are women that you can't even have in the first place because they don't even want you.
Yeah.
Now, you can't even get women in your real life, and you definitely can't get women on YouTube. You can't even do it. And salute to my Brody Daryl Long. I know he like this. I'm going after the bandits tonight.
Yeah. Darrell's like, yo, they got gay feelings.
You know what I'm saying? Darrell, if you got any videos or whatever you want to bring up of bandits, let's do it. We here tonight with it. This is where we at. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It sounds like I told you, the gloves is off now.
Yo, most of these niggas don't know what gay feelings is about because it's like they be having gay feelings. Like, no. It's like, no.
Well, you be honest about it. All you got to be honest about it. Go ahead, Mr. Shun. I'm sorry. Let me be quiet.
I'm not even gonna sit and go as far as to question their sexuality. I'm gonna just keep it on the point. The thing is, they saying that women should keep their legs closed, while at the same time saying 50% of black men are not having sex. So it's like the truth of the matter is, it's not that women should keep their legs closed. It's just that they want access to the same vagina and the same access to they want access to what they want, right? Which is the 304s. They want the 304s, but the 304s ain't giving it up to them the way they want it. So what they're saying is, it's called reverse psychology. Keep your legs closed, you empty-headed whore. Meanwhile, none of them are having sex with the whore. So what the fuck? Where are all the whores at? Like, if you're not having sex, this is how you know it's not about. It's not about morality. It's about you just not feeling like you want to, excuse me. It's just you understanding that you're not getting things the way you want it and you're jealous. That's all it is.
You choking on some chicken?
No, she's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Chocolate, what's up?
What it do, booz? What it do? You know I'm here to bring that energy. What's up?
You got the family pulling up heavy in it. Hold on. Let me get some decorum real quick. You know what I mean? Shout out to, Sister Chocolate up in here. Also salute to April Carter. And salute to the Simp God.
Yeah,
Darrell, what's up? You know what I'm saying? What's good, baby?
It's been a long time.
A lot of y'all been hating on Daryl Long too. And I'm gonna tell you why they're hating on Daryl Long. I'm gonna tell you why they're hating on Daryl Long. Let me tell you the real reason why. The real reason why y'all hating on Daryl Long is this. All the women that y'all want to talk to, y'all know he can talk to him, and y'all mad at him. That's what it's really about. That's what the jealousy is really about. Let's really get into it. Let's really get into it.
In the back.
Oh, Darrell, man. I've been waiting for this.
Hold on. Mute up 1 second. No women want you in real life, and these women, you two women don't want you. And now you mad because Daryl Long could pull all the women that y'all want. That's what it's really about the whole time. That's what you bitch ass niggas been mad about the whole damn time. That's what y'all been mad about the whole time. And I finally figured it out. It ain't about him attacking people. It ain't about him talking bad about people. It ain't about none of that. Because y'all niggas do the same thing. It's solely about the fact that you cannot get the same women that he has access to. That's what really this is about. It's jealousy. And I see right through you niggas. You know what I mean? And you women too. You fake ass women out here. Or you fake ass females. I see through y'all too. I'm not going to use the B word. I'll leave that for Chocolate or Miss O'Shun to use that word.
I'm focused on chocolate, man. I'm focused on chocolate.
It's about all right? So listen, whoever want to rock out first, whether it's Sister Chocolate, you can have the floor first because the ladies first. Or, you know what I mean? We can go with, the Simp God. You can go first. You know what I mean? Anybody can go first. Let's get it.
Well, I'm going to jump in because that's me. I'll jump right on into the water, hot or cold. You know what I mean? So, again, much love to all you guys. Miss O'Shun, Simon.
Much love.
You know what I'm saying? Because I came in, so I missed what I was saying, and I wanted to add to it, but I wanted to make sure I was on the right. Now, I know the hypocrisy of people in the modern world is just it is a product of what it was in the first place. It has always been where you've got, do as I do as I say, not as I do. And that has been our whole mantra in our communities. especially in the Black community. You know, you see real shady shit going on, then turn around, don't do that, but I'm doing it. You know what I mean? So there's always, because humans are complex and we try to put ourselves in these boxes, and when them boxes don't fit, then we like, oh, well, it only didn't fit because, no, just come on out the box. Okay, just come on out the box. Stop trying to tell everybody how to live and do you. But that's never going to happen because you have people who want to control other people. You have people who want the chaos. You have people fighting against people's peace. Look at that every day. This man is trying to uplift and be right and do whatever in his.
I love this girl.
Like.
God damn.
Stop it, Simon. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop.
Anyway, so it's like that's how I feel about people, working with them, being around people for years, working in a public, teaching folk. That ultimately we all have this universal language we all share, which is to survive, right? That's the needs. We need shelter, we need food, we need companionship. You know what I mean? We need air to breathe, like water to drink. Like these are universal for all of us. Yet we have human beings who have decided that they're better than other human beings. We have other human beings who have decided that our lives ain't worth what their lives are worth because of the color of their skin. This has been going on for centuries in all across the world in all different facets.
Thanks for being up here, Darrell.
And that's what it is, you know. But I don't want to get too long with it. It's just that's it. It's the hypocrisy is truth. The truth that people don't want to tell themselves.
But you know what, y'all said at
yeah.
the day, right? When you look at, let's say, take for instance Christianity, right? Christianity was not founded on the preaching of Christianity, right? Because it's not a lot of preaching going on in the Bible.
That's it.
The major thing about Christianity is show people what this religion is.
For the people in the back. Thank you.
So my thing is, right, at the end of the day, what the book is really saying is people do not gain faith. They don't learn knowledge. They don't pick up shit based on what you saying out your mouth. They pick up based on how you act. And honestly, as much as you read about, let's say, Jesus and him teaching his disciples, right, you hear them writing about what he used to do in the community. Like you see what he's doing in the community. You don't just hear about him preaching to people on any particular.
What's up, Raw B? What the frick?
It is the truth, Miss O'Shawn. It's like,
hey, Raw B.
Raw B, come up here and
what's the? But it is true. You are completely right, and that argument I've had with other people.
You jealous
when
as
you
motherfucker.
Look inside of the Bible. It has nothing to do with the things that are taking place. And in this country, and I'm gonna tell you why I think that religion again is unsafe for women. I've always believed that it is in every facet because it always has to have a lowbrow person. Like, okay, in Christianity, here's those three. There's that Trinity that's supposed to be in place. However, if that's the case, then why do we treat our women and children the way that we do? Why do men treat other men the way that they do? Why are they so afraid to be, for lack of a better word, raw? You know what I mean? Like you have to come to the conclusion that what kind of life you want to live, you've been given the ability to make those decisions. We have choice, and we choose to do everything, every step, every move.
Let's go.
It all ties into one another. Like intellectual, he didn't have to have this. He chose to do it. So with him choosing to do it, it created opportunity and for people like us to connect. So it's just, it is all connected, and it is up to us. It does not take a lot of people. There can be few that lead many, and we know this. So
but hold on,
because I gotta get to Darrell. Listen. And I'm gonna alley-oop into my brother Sim God very perfectly, all right? You know what I'm saying? Because this every time I hear this song, it remind me of the Brody, all right? Listen, y'all better not come to my funeral with that face. Y'all better not come to my podcast with that face. You know what I'm saying? All I ask is y'all keep it 8 more 92 with me. 100, all right? Simp God, let's cook, baby. Let's go. You see the title? Why there's so much hypocrisy in the world today? You can say whatever you want, brother. Literally whatever you want. Let's go.
Well, for one, can y'all hear me good?
War.
Yes,
Blood
sir.
war?
Let's go.
Why you got that blood
Yeah,
war?
I appreciate everything you were saying, man. Like this space, like you were saying earlier, the hypocrisy is different. It's not just about like me and the ladies, bro. It's about the men not really who they say they are. Like the men being in this space, they literally don't even create their own ideology, bro. They take other ideology from other men and they act like it's their own. So when they tell women, right, like this is one thing I don't like. I was arguing with Ali about. Why are you telling women that chastity and being a virgin matter, but you literally self-admitted to having a sexual only relationship with a woman that ended up with a baby, my nigga, and y'all not married or together? You had no intentions on ever being with her. That is a top tier bandit, right? Because what they're going to tell, what they're going to tell the women, right, is men out here, they all want wives, they don't care about whole culture, but then what they're going to do is the exact opposite, right? And I broke down what Black Dawn has said, right? I want a woman to be a virgin when I marry her, right? Black Dawn, will you marry a woman before you have sex with her? Absolutely not. I must fuck. What? So after you fuck, she lose value, right? Yeah. So do you automatically marry her since you devalue her? No. So what do she get for fucking you? Nothing. But she can't marry you unless she fuck. Right. You see what I'm saying, dog? So the women are saying, you know what? These niggas clowns. And I've been saying this in conversations with King. Women are literally looking at better men with less excuses. They don't know Kevin Samuels. They don't know Fresh and Fit because they be in their own bag, bro. Right? And that's the men that really the men online complaining about. Like they call Pookie and Ray Ray's like Mr. Best. You know, it's crazy. They be like, women in the hood fucking with Pookie and Ray Ray's, all these broke niggas. Let's be real. Are all these niggas broke? Or all these niggas on YouTube broke? You see what I'm saying, bro? Because they be talking about those guys like they got more than what they got going on. I don't know, man. It be a whole bunch of hypocrisy, bro. You got the Christians that want to be gangsters. It's so much hypocrisy, bro. And most of it come from men. That's a fact.
Yo, Darrell, like the only reason I fuck with Darrell is because he understands the first 7 originals, which were Kevin Samuels, Fresh and Fit. Well, it wasn't even Fresh and Fit.
We called them the Illuminati. We called them Illuminati.
Yeah,
it was Kevin Samuels.
He knows what I'm talking about. Like there was the
Kevin Samuels, Anton, MTR, O'Shea Jackson.
Boom.
And then they switched Anton out with Dennis Sperling.
Yo, Dennis came in a bit later, but you know.
That's just a fact. I swear to God, that's what happened.
Yeah, and me and Darrell have had our own run-ins, but you know, at the same time, I respect Darrell, man, because you know, you can't put that shit on a nigga. Like that is real. Like for real. Like I know like how Darrell's rocked. And yo, it's gonna just it's gonna be testimony. It's gonna be testimony. I don't give a fuck what these niggas put it up. Yo, this nigga done a dance. And it's the realest shit on earth. This nigga done a dance. And it was the realest shit on earth. No one is about to be that real. You're on a fucking degrade a nigga because he can dance and do some fucking sign fucking language that you don't understand.
The thing is this though about that whole thing. And I think I already done beat Fatty at that little game. He don't even fuck with me no more because he know where I'm at, he know where he at. And I told him this. I said, if you had to dance alone, you might be able to convince niggas that niggas gay. Because, you know, the voguing, whatever, you got it. But when you show a voguing video in the middle of interrogating the woman from YouTube that used to talk to me about why she talked to me, you look like a contradiction, my nigga, because like Mr. Best was saying earlier, a lot of them niggas best, like I'm not even gonna say shorty name, But if she was ugly and fat, them niggas wouldn't even give a fuck. The conversation wouldn't be, oh, Daryl Long and some girl on YouTube. It'd be, look at the type of girls that Daryl talked to, women that's unattractive and undesirable. But because this woman is desirable and highly attractive, and these niggas have no access, like you said earlier, that's what made them niggas upset, bro. And I'm like Beth, I tell you, I caught more heat over her. They're talking about Anton wife. It was crazy, bro. Crazy.
Man, and that's the problem, though. That's the problem. The problem is that people just have to have a universal standard. If you're gonna be critiquing somebody on talking about women, critique them on talking about women as a whole. Don't pick your straws, and that's the problem. Embrace it, grace. I see your comment. I'm gonna read it. She says, "What people do and what people say are two totally different things. Actions must match words."
No, but the thing is,
hold on, Simon.
Respectfully.
Hold on, Simon. The thing is this, right? At the end of the day, if you're only on here for entertainment, then just say that. If you're only on here to troll, then just let it be known. Just say, I'm a troll, I'm here for entertainment, I'm not really here. But when you try to make it seem like your life is the Bible, your life experience is the experience, nah, man, you taking it way, way left, okay? You're taking it way left. You feel me? So that's really the issue. Stop making it seem like your life experience is the experience, all right? Because people ain't trying to hear that shit, honestly. You know what I mean? And then, y'all get in comments and y'all wanna troll and all that. Let me tell you something. That shit has a price. Shit has a price. Okay? It has a price. And some of y'all...
Yo, don't fuck with chocolate like that. I swear to God.
Right. They're not willing to pay the price. You feel me? So that's really the thing, man. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Like, hey, Best, what's crazy, Best? Was like, I was talking to a little podcast about this recently. Matter of fact, I was talking to Cheeky about it on a little podcast show, and I was telling him, and you know this, Best. You heard me, my nigga, bawling in tears. That situation really had me in the real heartbroken state. You know what I'm saying? So here's another form of hypocrisy. We have men who claim two things. They care about kids. Nobody in this space has ever had police call them and CPS and FBI show up at your house except me. They never hold nobody accountable for that.
No, that's wrong.
Hold on, Simon. Hold on. Two, right? So I don't want to lose these points. These men claim that they want to create a safe environment for men. Then when everything happened, they didn't care that Shorty was lying. They didn't care that she put my baby in danger, right? Had I responded violently, they would have blamed me, right? But what they did was they created a environment with her to try to bash me. So you know what I said? To go back to what you just said, it's a price for that, right? There was one particular gentleman. He kept doing what he doing. I actually have access to your girl, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yo, Darrell, you're chatting shit, bro. Come on.
And that's when the price. That was the price he had to pay.
No,
right?
Come on. Like you're bigger than that. You damn well know you're bigger than that. Like, come on.
No, I don't do bigger than that. Right? If you want to not beef with me and you won't want to stay on my way or stay out of hold on, Simon, bro. Because Simon, let me tell you how men move. You know why a lot of these niggas don't sell drugs? They don't want to get in the way of the police officers. They don't want to get in the hold on, Simon, don't interrupt, please. I want to finish the statement before you interrupt. I got you. They don't get in certain men's way because they understand the consequences. That's why they don't sell drugs. That's why they make fun of niggas who go to jail. They understand and they fear consequences. If you understand war with me, you got to understand there will be consequences.
Yo, I've been waiting a minute to say this to you, okay? Because, like we've been chatting and stuff, right?
Sure.
If you really want to do something, bro, just stop that shit. I know you're playing this fucking Instagram, YouTube fucking bullshit game. Like, but for real, you're not on that. Like, really. Like, come on. Like, if I see you on another fucking stream doing that fucking bullshit, all it tells me is that you're lowering your fucking wealth. You're lowering your fucking like ideology.
So be it.
Well, is that what you want to do? I don't know. Do you get? I ain't about to tell you what to do.
What I want to do is men to stay focused on stuff that's important. If you choose to step out of line, I will put you back in line. It's really just that simple.
You know you could do that all day, but that's not the point. If I can turn around to you and say, okay, yo, bro, okay, I'm gonna back your shit. You keep talking about political shit, right? I go to these people, I speak to these people. I'm so invested in the black community and all the rest of it. Well, I don't really see that in terms of what you're
pause.
In terms of what you're doing.
Hold on, Simon. Pause.
Is that you, Robbie?
Yeah, it's me.
All right, let's get it.
What's up, bro? Boo. Yo,
Simon. I'm gonna say this before I go on mute real quick.
Darrell, like for real. You've had these conversations with multiple people in terms of what you're
Simon, let me help you out. I got you. Let me help you out. Every national leader on the planet is violent. The president, the KBG leader, right? Russia leader, President Putin, Kim Jong-un Lee, whatever the fuck his name is out there in Japan, South Korea. They're all violent. I see to rule. I'm going to do the same thing. If I'm going to lead my people, and I do lead my family, I will do it politically and violently. If you wish to avoid that, right, then make yourself a friendly. Don't make yourself an enemy. I'm not going to say it twice. I'm not going to say I'm about to lower myself. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I give a fuck about order. And if we don't have order, right? Hold on, Simon. If we don't have order as men, because again, he's talking about hypocrisy tonight. And what I was trying to tell these men is, again, you got men in these space that's spewing hypocrisy that's affecting our real life. You're not here, Simon. It's affecting our real streets. Right? That's why the FBI. Hold on, Simon. It's easy for you to understand when you be quiet and let somebody finish. So when you had the Secret Service and the FBI investigating the manosphere, it's because they had done detrimental acts on American soil that grant such an investigation, right? And who are caught up in the middle of these? Black families. So what I want to do is when I see niggas doing dumb shit and hoe shit and saying that you can kick bitches in the titties and all this violent shit, or sitting next to Nick Fuentes, we got to call them niggas out. And I'm not going to do it in a nice way because you want me to. You got to find another leader for that. You got to find somebody else.
All right, Simon, we moving on. Because Darrell going to do him. We know that. Now listen. You know what I'm saying?
But it's a very important point. And if you could give me...
Simon, hold on. Listen. Look. I know you've spoken to him before about handling things a different way. I've spoken to him before about handling things a certain way. Darrell is his own grown man, okay? And at times he does.
I understand that. Hold
on, Simon. At times he does listen. Just like with me and you, we've had dialogue, right? You told me, hey, Bess, I need you to step up. I need you to show up more. I'm starting to show up more. I've asked things from you. You have done things
I appreciate you, bro.
Hold on, Simon. We don't do things perfectly, right? Everything has to be done in timing. Look,
I appreciate you, bro.
And I appreciate
step back.
No. But you know how we do, man. You know, I love you, bro.
No. But he brought.
Let's finish. Hold on, Simon. Let him finish. I want to get.
No, Darrell, stop. Like he brought up very important points, you know. And I think the thing is, it's like we don't appreciate that shit. Do you get what I'm saying? Like Darrell, you know, I remember, and this is what most people skip over. When Kevin Samuels died, right? Okay. The first person they brought up was Darrell. Shannon Rose brought up Darrell. Why was that?
Because Shannon is a member of Kappa Alpha Psi. I'm a member of Alpha Phi Alpha. We both represent the Divine Nine, and so did Kevin Samuels. That was the only reason why I was there. Can we go on to Raw B now?
Okay, but let's move on. Let's move on, brothers. All right. Y'all said y'all piece. Let's move on. Listen, you know what I mean? Just like I had to give an alley you.
The Raw is significant.
hold on. Just like I had to give an alley to my brother Darrell Long, I give an alley to my sister Raw B. Okay, all right.
What's up, Raw B?
Activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Holy
Raw
Spirit,
B. Raw B.
That's my video right there. I love that video. All right. All I want to do is clap my hands, turn around, and dance.
She's gonna come in with that feminist shit. Go on, Raw B.
Then turn up. Alright. if y'all haven't caught Raw B this week, you're doing yourself a disservice. Alright?
Yo.
Goddamn week. Raw B, talk to it.
Raw B is
hypocrisy in a modern world. Let's talk. Let's get it.
I mean, you know, it's funny how you got people that'll sit there and call me a feminist while they're misogynist. You understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, what I do is I speak real talk and call it down the middle. People on all sides of these aisles is talking a whole bunch of bullshit. They talking a whole bunch of fluff and nothing. Dylan, more fire. What we talking about here? Like, stop putting off all of your bullshit on into the fucking world because you've made bad decisions and shit hasn't worked out for you. That's all. So
you're saying you're not a feminist?
I'm not. I'm Raw B Privileged, CEO of the Butterfly Progressive. What the fuck is a feminism?
Yo, you are so into women feedings. Every time like you pull up, right, you're talking about one thing or another. One on your lives, right?
Like
what happens?
I haven't said nothing, but you, like the rest of the niggas in this space, because my beautiful picture and my name and my voice.
You are beautiful. I ain't gonna detract from that. I'm just saying. One day is you're pulling up and you're getting your coffee, and you're like, okay, let's speak to the black people. Next day, you're like, okay, like black men don't mean shit. So what is it?
That's a lie. That's never what I said.
You said like you ain't gonna get with a 6 foot nigga, like apart from anything.
I'm not gonna date somebody under 6 feet. It's highly unlikely. I'm 5'11". What the fuck I look like dating a 5'8" nigga? What that look like? Like that's my son?
Are you You're crazy. So your limitation is like 5'9". That's your limitation.
Nah, that's your limitation. What I'm used to is
I ain't saying nothing about that.
What I'm used to is what I get. Men over 6'4".
You want a 6 foot nigga, right?
Nah, I want a nigga that's 6'8". What's up?
Why do you think they deserve that?
I deserve it because that's what I get.
That ain't nothing for anybody.
Oh, so what you offering?
What I'm offering is what the man that I'm dealing with will find out. That's the problem.
You ain't offering shit. Come on, like,
you right.
Your real story.
Hold on, Simon. Hold on, we gonna have decorum. All right, this is what we gonna do. I want Robbie to finish the point. I don't want no interruption. All right, from anybody. Let my sister finish the point.
They can't never let nobody talk because then they might get their little feelings hurt. Because at the end of the day, I'm not that chick that's going to tell you what I require in a man. At the end of the day, I'm not that chick that's going to tell you how I put it down in a relationship because it's none of your business. We in social media. Everybody nosy. They want to be private at the same time. Me personally, I like to talk about the points. I like to talk about the conversations that are out, the talking points, and what's actually logical or nonsensical in these conversations. What a lot of people do is they put their personal confirmation bias and their groupthink in the middle of some shit. I don't got time for that. I'm too grown. That's the difference.
Facts.
And that is a biggest thing, yo. You know what I mean? They always want to find out something about somebody. And I talked about this yesterday. Like, stop trying to ask people like where they live and who they want and where they be and what they look like and who they with. Like, don't worry about that, okay? That's none of your business, okay? Now, if that person will disclose these things to you, fine. If they don't, then fine. You will be okay, okay? All right? You will be perfectly fine. Go ahead, Lola.
Now, you know what it is. You know what it is. YouTube is a dating app. Don't get it twisted. Everybody out here looking for their next mark, looking for their next target, looking for the opportunity where they could wiggle in and get in and try to get the joints. But at the end of the day, though, I'm good. I'm good.
You ain't good. You ain't good at all. Like you
See
got
how
good skill, but you ain't good.
Very, very good, Simon. I will have you coming all the way over here from the UK. See how good it is. Stop playing in my
Oh
face.
shit!
okay,
What's up, boo? What's up, boo?
hold on, Simon. Hold on. Here's the thing, Simon, right?
Oh, here we go.
Wait a minute, here we go. See, I like how you sat there and asked her the question of why does she deserve a 6'4" dude, right? Meanwhile, being 6'4", 6'10", whatever the case may be, is not something that somebody deserves. That's not a point. That's just a biological factor in certain people. That's all that is. For you to sit there and say you have to deserve a 6'4", now you putting a price on being 6'4". Meanwhile, it's like, well, why don't we deserve a guy that's 5 feet? Like, this is what I'm saying. You're weaponizing shit that you have no business weaponizing. At the end of the day, she's a taller woman, so she's gonna get with a taller guy. That's just the biology of women. So for you to sit there and now make that a point of contention to say, well, why do you deserve a man that's that tall? Don't nobody deserve any damn thing. Either you worthy of what you want or what you need, or you not. It's not about being deserving of shit.
Okay, yo,
If you see me
Lola,
with
like,
somebody that's under 6 feet, guess what? That means they're stellar in every other arena. That means God dang,
you guys are off the fucking record. It's like, for real.
Simon,
Like,
I understand. You're 5'8" and you want me to give you a chance. I got you, boo. I got you.
And
wow, that is crazy. You see that statement? That is crazy. Like, what did you just say? You wait, ho. You said like, yeah, I'm 5'8" and you want me to give you a chance. Why do you think you're giving me a chance? Like, you ain't worried about how shit to me. Like, what the fuck?
Aren't we both? Hold on, like, Simon. Aren't you both giving? That's the hypocrisy right there, Simon. You're both given an opportunity. She's given an opportunity.
No, there's no opportunity. Listen,
yes,
if you come into my you ain't offering me shit. Like, you can have your own sort of perspective about like what you do, and I ain't saying that's not cool. I'm not saying that's not cool. I'm just saying you could go off and do what you do, but for most women, that's pocket change, right?
At the end of the day, I'm not.
What happened?
If I give a man an opportunity, he got an opportunity.
If I take you under my wing,
what wing?
Your pocket change is your pocket change. That's what it is. Like, you could speak to your girls about that sort of stuff, but I ain't building like that.
Because that's what people talk about in relationships in these spaces is the money. You need to understand that that's pocket change, girl. And that's how that's how you know these men ain't really built for relationships. What the fuck is money? Money comes and money goes. That's not what a relationship is. Fuck with me, I'm gonna have your whole life change. You ain't even gonna be worried about that money.
So you're talking like you're gonna get with a nigga that's homeless. Are you saying that? Are you saying you're gonna get with a nigga that's homeless?
It's gonna be off the rails. Are you crazy?
Yo, are you gonna get with a nigga that's homeless? Yeah. She's gonna bust down a nigga that is homeless because that's what she feels.
Your mic is a little off, Robbie. I don't know if anybody else can hear it.
Yeah, she sounded like she about to transform on your ass, Simon. So until she comes back in, I'm gonna say this to you.
I love Robbie. Robbie is amazing.
I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for her. She hooked me up with a lot of things.
I love you more, Chocolate.
Oh. Anyway.
No, it's facts. I don't give a fuck.
You don't have to, and I'm flattered. Thank you very much. I just find it's funny to me.
Yeah, what's up, Ruby? Come back.
Yay, she's back. However,
Raw
to her
B
point,
be spitting raw facts, and
that's it.
you
She's
know,
telling the truth, though. She
no,
is a
but
solid
she
woman. To Miss
no.
O'Shoon, men have decided. Hold on, Simon.
All right,
When I listen to y'all's arguments, and especially, and I've gone to pretty much every channel that's associated with the manosphere, and not either whether I go in as myself or I go in as my alter ego, because I want to hear it. I want to know. And to the point, yes, it's getting dangerous for Black women. I don't understand how Black men pretend like it is not dangerous out here. You can go and Google it. Oh, no, you ain't got to go to Google. If you inside of YouTube, just type in the what is the rate, the unaliving, all the stuff that's going on with Black women. We still losing our lives every 4 to 5 hours, and it's not at the hand of white men.
I love this woman.
Honest with you about that, right? To some degree, right? At the end of the day, most people are going to be killed by people that look like them in their neighborhood. Like, most people will not be killed.
Oh, of course.
Like
yeah. I'm with you, Mr. Shum.
Wait. Hold on. The hypocrisy is that all these men be talking about money and they not rich. None of y'all is rich. Y'all is broke as a fucking joke.
That part.
Disgusting. It's pathetic. And y'all be talking money like y'all really is earning $500,000 a year, but like you qualify and like you
Robbie, your mic, baby.
Geisha, just chill the fuck out for a sec. Yo, bro.
Hold on, son. Hold on. We're gonna be respectful. Please don't interrupt again. I don't want to drop nobody down. Let her finish her point. We can hear you better though. We can hear you. So go ahead.
Yeah. Okay,
so
cool.
At the end of the
I appreciate it.
All of these people on social media be fronting as shit. They broke as fuck. They miserable as shit. They not their mentality is in the trash. It's in the crapper. And this is why they be in social media complaining all the time because they can't get nobody.
Facts.
Nobody kissing on their body, kissing on their toes, giving them the business, cooking them no food, talking to them, building, having discussions. No, none of that shit. So fuck out with bothered by people on the internet. Oh, you don't deserve this. I be laughing my ass off because if I really got the show North team show up, a lot of these people would be out here crying.
Right.
Like, I have a motherfucking day where everybody show everything. Show all that shit you talking about. I can.
Yo, Geisha, you're beautiful.
Hold on. Let me say this, yo. I'm tired of all of this time. I'm tired of Mr. Best. You know what I mean?
Geisha. Yo, you brought the facts.
I can't stop Mr. Best. I'm tired of that, man. Like, no matter what I do, he just keep coming up with more shows and more content. I just can't stop him. I hate him. I'm so sick of Mr. O'Shoon because I told Miss O'Shoon that she got to do what I told her to do. I told her she got to get married right now, and she wants to me and my spouse. And I hate it. I hate Miss O'Shoon for that, and I definitely hate Raw B because let me tell you something. I tried to talk to a girl like Raw B, and she dumped me. And I don't my wife.
She dumped me as a yo. I ain't want to go into
that. I don't want. I'm so sad. And Chocolate, I know she knew, but I don't like her too. Nothing about her. There's the fact that she called herself Chocolate. I can't get no chocolate.
Dying over here. I can't even not
Mr. Best in the world.
Yes, sir.
But you're absolutely correct. That's how it is.
And that's how y'all sound out here in your YouTube streets.
Yo, you girls are beautiful, man. That's what that stands.
Hold on, Simon.
Hold on,
Simon. That's how you men sound out here. That's how you men sound out here. When y'all complaining and y'all crying. That's how you sound. You see how bitch man I just sound? That's how y'all sound.
Whoop, whoop.
When y'all complaining
about women
and how they move and what they should do. And there's another thing too. This is like I be crying too. I'm gonna do more. And why you gotta wear bonnets? And why you gotta get nails done? And why you know, I know women are shapely, but why gotta have cellulite in your skin? You know, why they gotta do stuff that women do naturally? Why they gotta weaves and things that women like? I don't understand why. You know, I want a feminine woman, but the things I ask for, I ask for if I'm gonna like women. Like
oh Lord.
You know,
you sucking some toe.
Yeah, I love you. Yeah.
No, then we can be friends.
What?
I'll
Like
suck your fucking toes in a minute.
Like I told you, Raw, listen, I told you we need to start. All the ladies on here.
Chill
I'm
out.
telling you, we need to start our own little hookup when it comes to what, Simon? What you owing about?
You can we gotta do our own thing.
Ain't that what y'all tell us?
No,
Come
wait
on,
a sec.
Simon.
Oh, this is the problem.
Don't do that. Don't do that. No,
What happens is you women
what happens is you keep talking, and I'm trying to talk to you right now. That's what keeps happening.
Nah. What is you build your own vessel.
Listen, you know I got much love for you, Simon.
You know why? Do you know why? Because women are ultimately drawn towards that because you have a vagina. The vagina leads you into that.
That's exactly right.
Space.
It leads to Earth. It leads
it's not
to the ground. We
exterior place. It's an interior place.
Hold on. That's exactly
why
right.
women talk in a certain type of way because it's like you have a vagina conversation.
It leads to power.
Let me tell you something. Hold on, Rob. If my vagina has a conversation, I get stalked. So I don't have
exactly right. That's what I'm talking about. Vagina conversations.
You're so
look. Chocolate. He knows about them vagina conversations because someone's vagina is talking to
exactly.
His
he married someone. Like, come on. You've dated women. Stop. Y'all acting like into your point, Rob. Yeah, these men talk like they billionaires. You know, first it was their boy who's now in jail. Then it was their boy who's now no longer here. Then it's always somebody. First off, Rollo Tomasi is one of the first white men to be on here talking about women the way they do. They talk about a portion. It's a portion because there's more people of non-melanation in this country and they dominate every space. YouTube still, they're the ones making the top dollars on talking about women, their problems, their ineptness. They also have to fight against this group of men that y'all made up. This 1% of men that all women want. There is no man on this earth that all women want. Not one.
No.
Not one. You can't find one. You can't.
Jason Momoa.
It is, well, I mean, but I love him too. I'm just saying. And see, I have a thing for big men. Even if you got a gut, baby, bring it. I love big dudes, right? Because I'm 5'8". I'm not a small woman. I'm curvy and all those things. I have, and we got half off at the movies one night.
See?
So that worked out. You know what I mean? I said one adult, one child, and we made it through.
I'm sorry, I'm 5'11", and I got a lot of
Girl, I'm playing.
I got a lot of marshmallows. So therefore,
listen, I've dated all kinds: skinny, tall, big, little, the whole nine. It depends on who you are. How do you present to me? You know what I mean? How do you come at me? But when you come at somebody, huh?
Hold on, chocolate melee runners in the building.
Hello.
Hey, Mel.
Hey y'all. I got my bonnet on. That's why I ain't carrying up.
No, look. I accept bonnets. I accept. You know, I'm not like these other dudes in the space where I get mad that women wear what women wear. Okay, I'm not like one of them. I actually like women, and I like what women do. So I don't get mad at bonnets and none of that type of stuff. My lady wear a bonnet all the time. I wash her bonnets and all that.
But you go see my
because all somebody gotta do.
Bonnets all around, that means that the women are around. Don't you want women?
I know y'all heard my son. He talking about hi.
Hold on, Mel. That's what you're gonna ask brothers out here. right? This is hypocrisy. You understand that y'all like women, but y'all don't be honest. There you go.
You do that to him.
There you go. There you go. You know what I'm saying?
No, you can't be caught slipping out here because somebody will know about this stream and then they'll come over here, they'll take a screenshot and then they'll run the shit up until you got to cuss them out and then you're not resting in your femininity.
Hey sis, first of all, my screenshot is still like it give face. Like can't nobody you ain't gonna never catch me slipping.
And hold on. And let me say this too. Please do not use my content without my permission because I will strike your ass down. All right? I'm letting y'all know this, all right? Don't get in y'all feelings and just get mad, okay? And want to talk about women and all that, and you want to take my content without my permission. Don't do that, because I will strike you down, okay? Just want you to know that.
I'll be right back, y'all.
I just wanted to comment on I think it was Chocolate Earth. I didn't catch it because I was between my phone and the computer when she said it's no man that every woman wants. I have to agree with that. It's like it's so many men is like, oh, this is exactly what she wants. This is exactly what I have to be. This is exactly what I have to do. It's not that. Like when I say like for me, I like who like me. It's not just that. Like I go off a vibe. Like if you look at who I was married to for all those years, who I dated before and after, you'll be looking like it's just a whole different panel of people. It's not like a certain thing that you necessarily have to bring because I've been with people when they've been down. I've been with people when they've been up. I've been with people that were in their growing stage. It's not necessarily that. It's more to it. And I hate that everybody's trying to put such a label on it. Like you have to be this, you have to be that. Then everybody gonna want you and you finally made it. No, it's not that. I mean, as men grow, women grow as well. Like we're growing, we're learning, we're wanting to do different things. We're finding our passions. We're drive to do different things. So that doesn't work. And I don't see how everybody's trying to slap such a label on everything. And it sucks.
Well, they slapping labels on it because somebody is telling them that all the women are going after the 6-foot+ guys, when in reality that's not true. Like they don't want to listen to actual women. They only want to listen to the women they care about, which are the 304s, right? Because I'll be honest with you, I done dated a guy that was 5'2". I have dated a guy that was 6'5". I have dated everything in between. And my thing is, like, I used to have a thing with dark-skinned guys, right? Until I met one light-skinned dude that just changed it all. And it's like, at the end of the day, right, I thought I had a preference until I met him. And then I'm like, well, I don't know. Like, I don't really care about my preference anymore. I like him. But it's like, at the end of the day, right, like you said, it's about the individual. And there's so many guys out here that is going to get surgery to get taller. Meanwhile, their personality still suck ass. Okay. Meanwhile, they still can't do what they need to do as a man. Meanwhile, their sex game still sucks. I mean, it's like, and I don't mean in a good way. I mean, it's like, what does being taller got to do with you being better as a man altogether? It's supposed to be a package deal, right?
Not a damn thing, Miss O'Shoon. I've been coaching men for, I think now I'm coming up on 18 years in. So the average person that I'm around on a daily basis is at least 6'3". And when I say men, like grown men and then high school kids and stuff, they dig too. I'm used to somebody being tall. Like that don't impress me. Like, okay, ooh, you tall. My godson, literally, he's 6'10". We just went to, we just had dinner him with the minis. And you know, they messing around with him or whatever. My kids, they're going to be big too, but they're 4 and 6. So it's like, that's not even anything to them. Not to me either. Like he's standing next to me, his teammates standing next to me. This is my daily life. Oh, you're tall, you're handsome. Okay. Can you make me laugh? Do you know like what I like to do besides like, oh, I'm gonna take you to dinner? No, I like to do just like regular stuff. Take me, let's go get ice cream. Let's do free stuff. I tell my kids that all the time. Like, it was like, what we gonna do today? Let's see what's free today. Like, I'm not that materialistic. Like, that's just not who I am. So if you drive a BMW, cool. If you drive a Mercedes, cool. If you drive a Maybach, cool. I drive a Buick. I love my Buick. Big Baby that held me down a long time. I ain't got no trouble with it. Like,
but Mel, they're gonna say that you're an anomaly and you can't really talk about the vast majority of women, right? The vast majority of women want these tall dudes, but the truth of the matter is, right, At the end of the day, no matter what females want, what they're willing to accept is really the only question that people really should be asking. And what
I've had tall, I've had short, I've had light skin, dark skin. I've had different I won't say races, different cultures, because I've always dated a black man per se, but different cultures. I've had different religions, things like that. I've embraced all of that. I think it really just comes down to everybody wanting to put so much in. This is exactly what you need to do. It's no blueprint. Because Miss O'Shun, I ain't seen you in a while. Anyway, I meant to speak to you earlier. It's no blueprint to say exactly, and you can say it's an anomaly, but it's not. It's really, first of all, men and women, and I think men, it's such a and I'm gonna put my cape on a little bit for men. Men have such a overall, you should be this, you should be that. They don't get to learn themselves because they, like, people put them in the box. This is what you should do, but they don't learn themselves. So they put those that displaced, this is what you're supposed to do on us. And then we're like, oh, am I supposed to do this? Am I supposed to do this? It's like we turn into robots. It's not that.
right.
Like, I don't want a man who don't know himself, and then you want me to come with my whole self and doing this and doing that, but you don't even know what you like for real. You just know what you're supposed to do.
But to be honest, they don't even want you to come with all your full self. They don't want you to be confident. They don't want you to be strong, or you're okay with whether or not we're together or not. I'm still going to survive and live. And like I said, the statistics say that there are more men dying alone than there are women. And that's across the board, all colors and cultures. And I completely agree with you. It has just come to a place now where really and truly we need to take stock, because it is to what Darrell was saying. It's dangerous. The things that they are saying, the lies that they are spewing, because the old adage is, if I tell a lie long enough, it becomes the truth. And we know that.
I believe.
And it's so come to this place. Like for me, I have been out the game now for about 5 years. I stopped dating.
What's out the game? I was gonna say, what's out the game?
Yeah, I stopped dating because that's what they've made it, a game. They make it a game, not us. And then when we do decide to make it a game,
I gotta ask you. I don't mean to interrupt.
No, that's okay.
So my thing is this. You mean to tell me that in 5 years you have not gone on a single date?
That would be about right. Yeah.
Have you had sex?
Oh yeah. That's not a date.
But I was just asking. I just had to throw it out there because
no, that's okay. I think that was about. Let me see. That was about 2-3 years ago. Yeah, I want to say it's about 2 years ago. And the reason it is because, again, what I want, I really don't have time for you to figure out who you are with me. And so instead of trying to make someone be something they're not, or make somebody feel like they have to pretend, or they just pretending, I just got out of it. And after my last relationship, I know that the truth of it is, on one side is my health. I don't look sick, but I have things that deter me from certain lifestyle. And so when I was in this relationship with this person, and they were there with me when they found out, about my health, he broke up with me. He didn't want me no more. And that was one of my biggest fears, right? Because I was like, if I ever tell anybody, or, it's nothing contagious or no shit like that. It's just like, I have to do certain things. I have to take medication, And it's like, why would you not want me? I'm still the same woman. I'm just going through something right now. And he didn't want me anymore. I was no good. And I say this and share it because I could take that situation and say all men ain't shit. Like the men who are on these spaces who take one situation and apply it to all women. I know all men aren't the same. All men don't think the same.
I definitely feel you in that. had a rare breast disorder, and I feel like I've shared this on many panels. And it's something that affects like 0.00001%.
Right.
Like it's nothing crazy. I didn't lose a breast or anything. It's not
right. I got you.
Yeah, but I had like in 1 year I had like 14 surgeries, and like I didn't lose a breast or anything, but they just had to keep going in or whatever. And that's stressful. That's stressful on your body,
right.
The mental. And then I got two minis. So
I
got and one thing about it, I will say this: my ex-husband, he's a great dad. Like he really stepped in the gap. He made sure the kids was good. If I had to have emergency surgery, he'll come get them, whatever. So he did help. But at the same time, if I'm going through that, I was going through that with the person, and then on the back end, after everything, you was like, oh, I took care of her and all this other stuff. And I was like, I literally had surgery. I came home and still was cooking dinner. You did not take care. You didn't even like make sure I was good. You didn't even let me rest. And that's why, like, when I was going through that, I was like, yeah, it's a no for me. Like,
exactly.
So like, and I'm a simple person. Like, you could have heated. Literally, you could have made me a sandwich.
You can have some empathy, and that's what's lacking. I'm sorry, Melon. I'm a little delayed, but yes, that's what you're looking for. The empathy. It's almost like when you get sick, some men treat you with apathy.
And he had a sore tooth, and literally he like a big baby. I'm waiting on him hand and foot, and then it was just one day I was just sitting there, and I was like, but wait a minute, I literally was cut open. Like I have 2 holes, like still the scars on the side of my right breast, where they had to go in and do whatever they did, and like I still have the scars. They're kind of pretty big. They try to keep them small for the most part, for the longest, as much as they could to minimize them, but then they had to go all the way in. And I'm like, you got a sore tooth. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. And I was just like, I'm done. So
this email goes back to, I think, a conversation me and Robbie was having a couple of days ago, where we were saying that, and I'm sorry, and B. Taylor, we was talking about how the difference between how men can be great fathers and horrible partners,
yes,
right? Life partners.
Absolutely.
But they can do that. And there was some men on the panel that was trying to, let's say, advocate for the idea that if a man is a good dad, right, then that's an indicator that he'll be a good partner. And the thing is, my contention was, well, a woman that knows how to cook, right, is not a good indicator that she'll be a good partner. It just means that she knows how to cook.
That don't mean she even be a good housewife. It doesn't mean
it doesn't mean anything. And my to them is that, look, at the end of the day, right, black men specifically say that they're good fathers, right? And I'll be honest with you, my children's fathers are great fathers. They've been great fathers to their children. So I can't take that away from them. However, I have lived a life long enough to know that there is a lot of men that know how to father children and take care of them, just like women know how to mother children, but they don't know how to be good partners. It's the same thing across the board. And to, I think your point, Mel, about going on dates, and to you, Chocolate Earth, there are women that do play games when it comes to dating that causes the pool to be dirty.
Right.
I'm not even gonna front. There's females out there that literally, like, they make it hard for anybody else to actually live for real with the way they just reckless and shit. So I'm not even gonna take that away from men, because I've seen men go on dates, like, honestly trying to get to know a chick, and all she trying to do is eat dinner for the night because she hungry on some dirty girl shit.
Right.
So I understand the struggle, but I'm gonna be honest with you, right? When I look at the females that these dudes be saying that be like that, honestly, and I'm not, and this is no shade to nobody out there, right? But I can look at a chick and kind of tell, oh, she a bird for real. And
right.
Like, dudes will sit here and say she played me, which, don't get me wrong, she did do. But on the surface, you should have looked at her 9-inch nails and her blonde weave and all of her, what you call them, the sideburns and shit, or whatever. You can see that a bird.
No, Miss O'Shawn, me and you is new, but I'm gonna say I'm new to you, but I'm gonna tell you this. No, you didn't just say them was some motherfucking sideburns, girl. Come on, you can't keep talking and think we gonna sit here like we didn't hear it. I'm weak. I don't even care what you
No,
say.
I'm sorry, baby hair. I'm sorry, I said
No, you
sideburns.
said no.
Baby hairs.
I'm calling them sideburns from now on. Thank you very much
Sideburns.
for that.
Baby.
Baby sideburns. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean baby hairs Joe down. But I'm just said not sideburns. Baby hairs Joe down. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
All I'm saying is you could tell the chick was a bird just looking at her, and the dudes be so hurt, and I be feeling bad for them because some of them be good dudes. But I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of these good dudes don't have discernment, and that's just weird.
That's
really,
exactly what I was trying to say.
they
Right.
don't. They good dudes for real, but they don't have discernment.
But no,
Exactly.
that's Ms. Oshun. Like that's what I was going back to talk about. It's like if men if we really look at it on like everything that they're talking about, if the men are talking about they want to be leaders, they want to be this, we should do this, we should do that, then you need to come to me knowing who you are. And that's the thing. Like, you don't know who you are. You really don't know what you want. You really don't even know what you like. You don't even know what you like to do for real. So,
they don't even like themselves, Mel.
They don't
Let's
like.
be honest.
That's the thing. And then and that's the thing. And I will say this across the board. I've told this to my ex-husband, and I'll tell this to anybody. He's a great dad, and I let nobody can ever, like, what we went through is what we went through. But he's a good dad. Shitty husband, shitty partner. But every night when I pray, every morning when I get up, I pray that his wife that he has now, that he does her better than he did me, that he's actually learned and he's actually evolved. I pray for their marriage because I want him to have a good marriage with her. You never with me, and that's fine.
You are a beautiful soul. I could give two shits.
I really want him to.
No, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
No, I really want him to do good with her. You fucked it up with me, maybe you make it with her. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not gonna change who I am, but it's just. But honestly, and that's why, like, even like with me dating, when I date, it's like, okay, if we're gonna do something that's like different or may cause something, I'm the first person who's like, I might initiate it, and then when the bill comes or something like that, I'm like, well, I invited you to the date because this is where I feel comfortable. Because if they ask me, well, where would you like to go on a date, and I'll say, well, let's go here. If I choose the place, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pay, even if I have to sneak to pay. Like, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick and then pay it, and then I'll tell the waitress, just say, oh, somebody got y'all bill for the night. I'll do that because I don't want you to feel like you took me on this date and you feel like I just wanted food, because it's not that. I'm trying to really get to see who you are. I'm trying to feel the vibe, because if I don't feel it, then I won't feel bad, because I ain't feel like I took you like just on a date to see, oh, I just didn't want to feel like cooking tonight.
But see, so here's the hypocrisy, Mel, and I want you to feel me on this, right? You'll have people in one corner of this space who will say that women, all they want is for men to just pay for everything, and they don't appreciate. They just want men to pay for everything. Then you have people like yourself and myself that when I invite somebody out, I don't care who it is. You could be a male, female, whatever. If I'm inviting you someplace, I'm paying for it. You don't have to pay for anything. I'm paying, like, period. Right? And that's just the type of that's just the type of female I am, right?
Girl, I've always been masculine.
But you'll have people sit there and act like women like that don't exist, and all we out here doing is going on dinner dates hungry and shit. Meanwhile, it's like sometimes, right, when I'm on a date with a guy, and even if he's paying, right, I'll leave the tip, or I'll leave a big tip just so it'll be balanced. And it's like, I don't
like, if you pay for the movies, I'm buying the snacks. Like, you know.
But that's communication, and them being able to even say that, ladies. How many men are comfortable in being honest in the fact that, okay, hey, things may not be the way that I want them to be right now, but the truth be told, unless you have been taught or have the ability to understand that, you don't have to assume, because that's what's happening. That's what's the easy way out, to say, I really don't know how to get no coochie, and I really don't know how to talk to women, and I really am afraid and I fear that I'm gonna fail at it. So let me make a list of demands that are so unreasonable that, okay, I knew you couldn't do that. I knew you couldn't do the handstand and turn around and put your hands on your back. I knew it.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like,
oh my God, she said the handstand. But wait a minute, you are correct. You are correct, Chocolate Earth. That when they, okay, for instance, when they got money, right? They feel like they don't have to actually get to know how to deal with women because they got. And this is why I always say, just because a dude got money, don't mean he's ready for a relationship.
But you, Miss O'Shun, and to Mel's point, again, there are plenty of women out here who will, whether they got a big bag or a little bag, will take you out to dinner. I have taken men out to dinner. I have been at the bar, saw a fine dude that I like, and sent him a drink. That will fuck a man up every time. His game is gone. It's hilarious to me. I don't even understand. It's like they start to malfunction, smoke come out their neck, and then they be like, I can't believe you bought me a drink. Like that. It's just insane. Or you're, again, like you said, to Mel's point, you masculine. Right. Well, if that's the case, that I have decided either I'm who I am. You could call me aggressive. You could say I'm boisterous. You could say all of those things. I'm fine with that. But I'm also, I can also be that feminine, that this, that, depending on the situation. That's life. You adapt. But that's not what's happening. They don't want to adapt. They don't want to do this research. They don't want to find out about themselves so they can attract a different type of woman. But that work ain't here.
Chocolate Earth, the best way I could describe myself, and it was so funny. I was still in college. I think I was a sophomore, and this was grad school, and I was on a panel to interview coaches for the new head coaching job because they had to have one student athlete, and I was the NCAA representative, so I was on there. And somebody asked me a question. I wasn't ready for the question, but I will thank the Army because they taught me how to deflect. So they asked me a question, and the way I answered it was like, I don't have quite the answer now. I was like, however, I have not consulted with, coach this person. I ain't gonna say that name because this might come in. I was like, so once I consult with them, I'll be able to give you the best answer possible. And then afterwards, he told me, he's like, man, he was like, they do that question at you like a bad. It's like, I'm glad you dodged it. I said, man, you know what? I'm like, coach, you don't even know I'm an onion. I got layers. Right. Like, and then he was like, and then he was like, how old are you? And I was 19. I said, I'm 19. And then he said, who taught you that? I said, Granny.
I know that's right. Listen,
but that's the thing, and it's so crazy because like I watched my granny. My granny, thank God, she's still alive. She's about to be 90s. On the 26, she's a Virgo. She's something else.
That's my best friend. I'm a Taurus. So listen, I know them Virgos. Honey.
Yeah, she's my best friend, and me and her talk all the time. She shaped me into like a lot of who I am. But the thing is, I would see her be when she had to be because my grandfather, he passed away. He was in the Air Force. He passed away many, many years ago. I was barely a teenager when he passed away. But just the way that she does things, the way that she moves, the way that when she needs to be more aggressive and when she needs to be passive, everybody loves her. Like, we needed some stuff done at the house. I need this person to come in and do this, and that. But at the same time, even before that happened, it's like if she made too much food for us, and like mind you, it's a lot of us because I have 13 siblings. I got my mom. I got like a lot of us. So it's always a surplus of food. She would pack up the food. She'll take it down to like where the contractors work and stuff like that. Like just give them lunch or whatever. Like I'm just bringing you lunch. But if she needed something, it's not one of them people that wasn't like, oh, you need something, Miss Connie? Okay, I'll come over there. I'll fix your roof. I'll do this. I'll cut the grass. Anything. But she was able to balance that. And I feel like a lot of men don't know that it's a balance. But it's somebody robbed their mama before they robbed my granny. Like, it's a balance. It's respect, but at the same time, she's able to be loving and kind. But ain't nobody gonna fool with granny. I ain't gonna fool with granny.
Well, you know what? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was done.
I was just gonna say that, Mel, I get where you're coming from, right? But here's the hypocrisy that I'm gonna keep going back to. When dudes be telegraphing the type of females that they attracted to, that they complain about every day, all day, this is why we can't have a conversation about women like your grandma, like women like you or anybody else, because all they want to talk about is the chicks that they chasing, which is the chicks that they're complaining about. Personally, with me, you'll never have me online complaining about Pookies and Ray Rays, because I just don't run into them. Like, even though I roll through the hood almost at least 5 days a week, because when I go back home, I don't run into Pookies and Ray Rays. Like, I go back home with my parents and stuff, and I just don't be running into these dudes. But it's like at the end of the day, right? Rich dudes, millionaires, billionaires, poor dudes, they all got the same issues because they're men in general. So my thing is, I'm not complaining about that shit, because that's not my problem. But when you got these guys out here that'll sit here and say,
you don't know. You don't know.
I definitely got trapped by X-Ray Ray on the slip, for real.
No. What I'm saying is, right, even though you might have met one or two, right? I'll be honest with you. Nobody that your main issue with men is not you keep running into the same type of guy, and therefore you want to complain. Everybody then met. Obviously, me and you, we got exes, so obviously we done met people that we didn't jive with. That's cool. However, when people complain about chicks that all they want to do is do this and wear this,
Miss O'Shun, I see what you're saying. You saying the space that you keep is the reason why you keep running into it.
I honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, Mel. Sometimes I don't even think it's the space that they keep in, because whether or not they change in spaces or not, it seems like they keep running into the same thing. Yeah, like they just keep running.
Well, because to your point, Miss O'Shun, they're repeating. Think about it. Okay, when you go into these spaces, you hear this stuff that men are saying. Look at the chat. Look at all the men who silently agree, right? Because it's like, if you want to have better, let's say you start out with your Pinto, you know what I'm saying, and you in your apartment is a studio. If that's gonna be it for you, or you're gonna go, you know what, I want more. So you go to school, or you get a better job, or you get a better place, and you start to move up. But men have decided in this space to demonize women because this is what we've done. Now, not just 10 years ago, y'all was singing Miss Independent and I got a own car, you know. I mean, y'all was in it, right? Like, so all of a sudden now we're too independent. First, you don't want us to be gold diggers, but we too independent. You don't even have a balance.
I think that's taken out of I think it got taken to the extreme, because when we think about it, when anybody leaves the house, most women, if we talk about modern times, like I was born in 88. So when I left the house, it was well beyond the 90s. So, well, not well beyond. I left the house in 2006. So not well beyond, but
you made it sound like it was in 1935.
I was 17. I wasn't married. I didn't have any children or anything. So I'm leaving the house, and of course I'm gonna have to pay my own bills. I'm gonna have to cut my own grass. I'm gonna have to cook my own food and stuff. That's being independent of, I'm not dependent on my parents anymore, but at the same time, I'm not dependent on the man. We take what things that are supposed to be empowering and find a way to demonize them. Because yes, I was independent because I was still able to pay my bills. I was still able to maintain a job. I was still able to go to school. I was still and have great grades.
Hold on a second. Simon, I'm gonna let you up, but you can't interrupt. All right, don't interrupt. You know what I mean? Wait your turn. Let people finish. Don't interrupt. All right? Because after Mel shares, I want to get M3 up in here. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The big dog M3. You know what I mean?
What up, y'all?
Just to finish, like, of course that's independent, because I'm no longer, because I moved away from home. Not far, but I moved away from home. So I wasn't dependent on, like, my brothers. Like, I have 7 brothers, and I got my dad. So they always wash my car. I had to learn how to really wash my own car. Of course, I cut grass. I went hunting and did all the other stuff. But like little things, like when I went to the gas station, most of the time, my dad was like, "You going to get gas?" Like, yeah, he'll meet me at the gas station. So I was pumping my gas myself for the first time. I was doing things, and that was independent. I'm doing it myself. That should not be demonizing. That should be me learning to not, like, if something happened to my dad or my brothers, which of course I got a slew of them, then I can still do it. If they can't do it. Like I went hunting, fishing, all that other stuff. So of course I could do that. But at the same time, independence should not be a demonizing thing. We turned it into that because like, I don't need a man because I can do it. Just because I can do it don't mean I want to do it. Do you think I want to take the trash out? Hell nah. Kingston about to be 7. Guess who take the trash out? Kingston. I don't take no trash out of my house. My son does. If he needs help, if it's too heavy, I'm like, okay, son, I help you. But you taking it out.
But Mel,
I can cut my own grass.
But Mel, none of that has to do with relationships gone bad. For instance, if you get into an argument, right, about something, right, the fact that you independent or he independent has nothing to do with what y'all arguing about. So this is where what you're saying is it goes south, because females will sit and be arguing about, I don't know, something dumb like cleaning the house or something like that, or who left the bottle open, whatever the case may be. And then it'll turn into, well, this my house, or I pay this bill, or I'm independent. None of that shit got anything to do with what the fuck was left on the bed the other night. And this is where I tell a female quick as shit. Just because you can do the minimum, which is take care of yourself, don't mean that that's something you need to hold over nobody's head. Because when you do that, this right here is the reason why you by yourself, because you old enough to take care of yourself, but you're not mature enough to actually be in a relationship. And that's where it's like, for real, if you throwing your money in somebody's face on some personal shit that don't have nothing to do with your money, I can see if a dude took some money out your bank account and then you want to talk about this my money. But if it's not nothing like that, your money don't got shit to do, shouldn't be in no conversation.
Not a damn thing.
Personal shit.
Exactly. And that's the thing. I just feel like it's been turned around so much that where the core of where it was, like, independently, I can do this. However, I do want this cover over me, has changed to I don't need you. That shit is stupid to me. And anybody is like, I'm independent, I can do everything myself, the dumbest person on the world. Because I tell you what, I don't want to have to climb this ladder tomorrow to cut this palm tree. But me and Larry gonna do it. My godson gonna do it tomorrow. But I don't want to have to even be out there. Like, I want to be like, yep, my husband, my man, they gonna trim these trees because I want this trim like this. I don't want to do it, but I have to do it because at this time I am where I am. But like, that doesn't make sense to me. I can't fathom that. I'm independent. I can do all this other stuff. No, I can change my own oil. But you know who I call? Marquise.
Tyrone.
Marquise. Around the corner to go.
I think that's Tyrone. M3, get it.
I don't want to get my nails dirty. I can change my daddy's house.
Get into this, M3, whenever you can.
I'm just waiting for Mel to finish her point so I could chime in real quick. Okay. Well, salute to everybody. So,
M3, what's good?
Nothing much. Can you guys hear me well? I just want to make sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyway, salute to everybody. All right. So, look. All right. Even though this is a great conversation about, men and women, again, these goddamn frivolous topics. But here's the thing, right? Unfortunately, like, okay, let's say in that reference to like the whole Neo song Miss Independent, right? Like, we're pretty much in a whole different generation talking about another generation. See, the thing is, compared to us, we may appreciate, okay, women having some sort of independence where they may not need us, but they want us. You know what I mean? But they're not throwing it in our faces. Whereas, like, you have the men who was once solid,
I'm working too while I'm setting up this bingo.
Okay, cool. Hope we get that bingo going on.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I thought I was on mute. Oh my God, hold on. I apologize. So hold on, y'all.
I got you. If you need help, hold on. I got you. I'm put you on mute. All right, cool. So, you got like, other men like who was like, once like men, who was doing certain type of responsibilities as a man, to make sure that he's holding his family down. You know what I mean? And you had other men that will hold them accountable when you're doing some fugazi stuff. Now you have a new generation of men, okay, that is so overly liberal. You know what I mean? like everything is shamed or everything is susceptible. These incels, it's like I would like to call it. The one, the incels, like an example, the ones that be up in the chat talking about, oh, this woman hurt me and fuck you, bitch, and fuck you this and all that. Like, yeah, those type of incels, they have nothing really going on. And those usually the ones that's very unproductive in their own personal life. I think something like kind of like what Robbie was saying somewhere along the lines, whereas they don't have a lifestyle. It's like they don't really have a normal lifestyle like how most people would have, and that's probably with the slew of being rejected by so many different women that now you just develop a spike towards them. I mean, I guess if I put myself in the incels category, right, I guess I would be mad, which I really won't, but if I was incel, I'll be mad at the world too. I guess I'll probably be mad as enjoying like the manosphere community. You know what I mean? If I can't get no play, or if I feel like, man, my life is doomed, but then yet I do have an option of choice to improve myself, but yet I want to be lazy. I want to hear content creators pump my head up into a delusional state and actually believe that we actually have some type of power and authority over these women. But for them, that's the way how they get men, a lot of these dudes hooked, by keep spinning on the narrative about all these lousy, bad women that's out there, but not promoting the good women that's out there doing something. Okay. Now, again, to get to like the women or whatever, because one of you guys was talking about like, Mel was talking about how some of them will say like now these days, I'm independent, but yet I don't need a man. Okay. Well, those type of people, right? Those type of women, ain't really real down to earth type of women anyways. Those fall still in that type of generation where, clout is just like everything. Money is like everything. It's like they don't have like the type of common judgment, whereas like, being in a relationship, a fundamental relationship is essential. Everybody's being taught that, well, you could do everything on your own without needing someone, which is absolutely truly false, unfortunately. But they fall into that narrative because even those women has been hurt by those type of dudes, right, that they will once allow them to bum off of them, allow them to use them, allow them to pump and dump, and then throw them on the highway somewhere or in the streets. You know what I mean? So, unfortunately, we're living in a society, right, where everyone's following a trend. And the latest trend right now that's ongoing is that you could do everything all by yourself without the opposite gender, And to me, that's kind of like hetero, in my opinion. But hey, that's where I'm going to end off on that part.
Okay. Now M3, right? I know you see the question in the chat, right? I know you see the question, at the bottom. Why is there so much hypocrisy in the modern world? I know we're talking about men and women or whatever, but I want to get back to this hypocrisy thing as well. We can talk about hypocrisy that men and women both have. We can go there if you want. I'm here. Let's get it. So why is there so much hypocrisy in the world? We can talk about men and women. We can talk about whatever, family, whatever. Let's get it.
I mean, to be perfect, Wait, who was going first? I'm sorry.
Oh, he was asking me a question about hypocrisy. I was going to.
No, I heard it. I thought somebody else was trying to answer the question first.
Oh, well, go ahead, Mel.
No, I feel like it's so much hypocrisy because, to be perfectly honest, myself, I've always been, of course, I have a lot of siblings. I grew up on a pig farm. I'm 5'8", pretty athletic. I feel like I could do anything my brothers could do. However, I don't want to do it just because I'm taught something. The hypocrisy comes in when, and I'll say this, we put it on ourselves. If you could do it, anything you could do, I could do better. Not true. I feel like we all have our lanes, and I feel like it's certain people that feel like if you want to stay within your lane or your field, that you feel like, oh, well, I'm not doing everything that I can. However, if you look at it, it's subject matter experts in everything. I may know how to do this, but I may not know how to do it well. And the hypocrisy is like, I can do it better than you, because if you can do it, I can do it, and I'm gonna be better than you. But it's not that. I just, so the whole, it's like a twofold. So I think that we get so caught up in what people talk about, gender roles, which I feel like those are not well defined, and they cannot be well defined, because a little push, a little tumble can change those. And I feel like we get so caught up in, honestly, money. And when I say money, if we want to look at the statistics, women get more degrees than men. They also do not get promoted as fast as men. They don't get paid as much as men, but it's not necessarily our black men that we're competing with. It's usually white males that do have our same credentials, may not have our same experience. And I actually did pull this up. I know I can't see on my screen, but I'm looking at this now. They may not have the same credentials. However, it's just aesthetic. So I feel like money a lot now is playing a bigger role on it, and it's a lot of the value is in how they look or their body more than their mind. And at the same time, some men are afraid of the mind of a black woman. Well, I ain't gonna take it back. A black woman, because
Wait, hold on, Mel, hold on. So you think brothers are intimidated by the internet?
I didn't say that. Let me say this. I said the mind of a black woman. Because if you look at certain backgrounds, it is in the background a black woman. I never said a man was intimidated by it. What I'm saying is that we're assets. However, if our aesthetics don't match our assets, sometimes we're put in the background. And I think that's why it's a hypocrisy. It's like you have to have the best of both worlds. But if I'm working 20 hours a day, you cannot expect me to be in the gym 5 days a week. Oh, sorry. That's my mom calling me. She watching the show, y'all.
Watching the show, y'all. Hey, no cursing, everybody. Keep it clean now.
I'm turning up now since your mama watching. I'm turning on over here.
No, she always watch. You
gotta turn off your YouTube in the back.
I did turn off. My YouTube in the back.
That was Leanne. She got her YouTube on and she got the other thing on. But so Mel, so are you saying that men are intimidated by your intellectual soapbox? Is that what you're saying? Are you intimidated by your own intellectual soapbox? All right.
No, absolutely not.
You superior than us now?
No. So intellectual soapbox. If you ever, well, I know you've never met me, but if you ever around me, no, absolutely not. I am the most like. First of all, I grew up in Mississippi on a pig farm. That's still who I am to this day. My degrees don't change me. My money don't change. None of that changed me. I feel like we just need to get to the root of it. I feel like everybody feels like with money, you have to change who you are. I don't care. I've been in rooms with billionaires, with millionaires, whatever. I don't change who I am. Like, I'll talk the way I talk. I am who I am. I'm intellectual. I can talk about certain things, but when I take it down to, I'll take it down to like the lowest factor. Like, say if you have a company and you're running this Fortune 500 company, you're looking at like most of the time the top half, and I always switch it to the bottom half. Like, what are we doing for them? How do you know how they're working and stuff like that? I don't change who I am because of where I am. So that's the thing. I don't feel like you're intimidated by it. I feel like some people feel like it's a threat, but it's not a threat. Me, myself, anybody that I'm dating, I'm around, or is in my circle, I want to make you better. I want you to be better. If you make $1 million and I don't care as long as you make $1 million if you're in my circle. I don't feel like I feel like we make ourselves a threat just because like, oh, well, maybe this person is doing better than me. I don't see it like that. I just see it's like we all winning. I'm very comfortable with where I am. So if you can do better than me, do better than me. It's fine because I'm gonna be good. My kids gonna be good. My grandkids gonna be good.
Let me ask a question, man. Let me ask a question real quick, right? Let me see if Leanne's sound is good. Leanne, does your sound good? Are you there?
No, I can't hear you.
Yeah, but you have a little background in the back.
I have background.
No, not you, not you, Leanne.
Oh.
So Leanne, you gotta turn your YouTube off. Hello, what about now? Are you good?
I don't
No,
have
her YouTube is still on.
I don't think I have YouTube on.
You gotta click the other tab.
You gotta click the other tab.
How's the tab?
You gotta click the other tab.
I don't know what tab. God, hold on, we're figuring it out. Hit the mute.
I was gonna say try to come back out and then close the tabs and then come back in.
Yeah, she's gonna come back in. Okay, so I got a question for Mel real quick. Hold on, Empty. I'm gonna let you cook after this. So basically, whatever, Great Pill, whatever. I stick around when I can, okay? But I always show you love. If you can ever come up, you can come up, whatever. And if I ever come up on yours, you can come up. You know what it is, you know what I mean? So, and definitely, anybody want to come up, y'all come up. You know what it is. So my question is this, Mel, right? Now, Mel, you are great when it comes to expressing yourself, right? You're phenomenal. My only question is, right, can you listen just as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, see, this is the thing. I am a therapist as well. So
how is this?
That's better. That's much better. So when I listen, I'll listen, and then right after we have the conversation, I'll go and take notes and I'll revisit those notes. But it is something that's learned. I will say that it's not always been like that. I'll take that because it was a lot of times I'll listen and I hear you talking, but I wasn't taking in what you were saying. But when I actually got to the point where I'm listening and I'm taking in what you're saying, and then it's like sometimes I have to write it down to like actually, because sometimes I express myself better when I write something. I write it down, and then I'm not an impulsive responder for the most part. And that's why I'm not so good at panels, because I have to think things through. And a lot of panels I've been on, everybody will see I hold up in the beginning like my notepad and my pen because I have to write something down, because I'm not really an impulsive responder, because I listen, then sometimes I have to write it down, and then I have to think about it. So I do listen, but it's developed over time. It was not anything that I knew before where I am now.
Okay. So, Leanne, you see? Okay, go ahead. You got a question? My bad.
No. Actually, I was trying to make a quick statement, right? For the first part of the convo, because I guess like basically when she was saying about like I guess dudes are intimidated, right? I think they're more intimidated because of not like you have a strong personality, but it's more of like you try to push people. Like you want people to be successful, so then it brings people out of their comfort zone. And I think I kind of understand that, because like if a guy or a woman, whatever, is not used to getting out of their comfort zone, like maybe at an expedited type of time, you know what I mean? They could kind of tend to like pull away, you know what I mean? And it's not about like, I don't think it's about like much of like, okay, like you being a successful woman. It's just that they know you have expectations, like you have standards, but you're willing, but you're not using those standards to tear people down. You're really using your standards to really build and elevate people up. But I think because they probably encounter with so many different women that have those standards, and then it seems like as a tear down, that's where the insecurities come in and they push back from. That's why I kind of get it.
But M3, I feel like that can be solved in a conversation. But I will say this: I feel like it's a lot of men that have been in those relationships that were that way, that them having a conversation, they feel like almost like that's emasculating. Like for them to have a conversation and, you know, just really talk about it, because honestly, if I'm dating, if I'm even like giving you the time of day, we're like, because I know it's different stages. I don't know them all, you know, but you know, you're talking, dating, monogamous dating, then, you know, whatever. I feel like everything should be intentional when you're going through those phases, and that communication, like actually being able to talk to a person. If I can't talk to you when we're dating and tell you that, you know, I'm proud of what you're doing, or I think that you could do this, without saying it in a way that I feel like I'm putting pressure on you. Just like if I say, okay, I've done this and that, so I know that when we first talk, you say you want to do this, so you know, what's your plan, or how do you want to do it? Or if I get an award at work, if I'm too afraid to tell you that I got this award at work, then that should be like an indicator to me. Then can I celebrate me, and at the same time let you understand that I'm celebrating us because we're together? So it's like an insecurity on both sides in a way. It's not just like a one-sided thing.
Yeah.
However, I feel like a lot of women, they use it now. What I'm seeing in a lot of things that I'm viewing, they use it in a way like a leverage over a man, or to emasculate them. Like, I've already did this, and this, but you're only here. You know, so I can see both sides, because like I say, like I have 7 brothers, but we're really tight. So I talk to my brothers more than my sisters. So I can understand both sides.
So what you provided right now, right? Because you actually answered a question that I was going to ask you, but you provided an actual solution that can actually kind of bridge like the malady that goes in between the relationships, you know, and it is solid, clear, cutthroat type of communication where you're letting the person know that, hey, this is what I want from you. Hey, this is what you want from me, but let's go ahead and we try to build together. But unfortunately, you know, you may be like one of the few out of many other people, both men and women, that actually use certain leverage to gain control over the other partner, and then it's being conditioned. So the hard part is that, you know, although your solution is great, but now it's like, okay, how do we break the conditioning when they step outside from a person like you? You know what I mean? You may be like a rare breed, just like Lola out and probably a few others. But the problem is when we go through things statistically and probability, it's like, okay, is it a mass number of people that's struggling in the communication aspects to where it's like, damn, like, you know, dudes don't know how to talk, women don't know how to talk, so everybody just goes behind, you know, with social media as a way of communication. So we gotta try to find that solution to really tackle it and just try to break down those barriers. And maybe the beginning part is to have more conversations like this that we could actually apply outside of YouTube if we are attentive enough to see someone else struggling in that type of communication.
Cool.
And then in a way, honestly, a lot of people use social media as like a barrier. With me, I know some of y'all follow me on social media. I did like, I think 3 months ago, I did like a 6-week challenge, and it was something that somebody offered me. It was like a gym workout, and I literally shared with everybody. It was such a struggle for me to go to the gym and actually film myself like working out and post it and everything, and, you know, write something about it. Because when I go to the gym, I'm locked into the gym. I'm trying to do the gym. I don't do it for social media. Like, and I feel like a lot of people do a lot of things for other people's approval. I go to the gym because I like going to the gym. I like the way I look naked, and I want to keep the way that I look naked look good, you know. So it's not for other people, and I feel like we do so much stuff for other people's approval. But that was 6 weeks. It wasn't the working out. It wasn't the different workouts. It wasn't like the different eating plan. It really was the social media part of it for me, because most of the time, if anybody follows me on social media, most of my pictures are my kids, us doing events together and stuff like that. I rarely have any pictures of me doing anything. So I was just like, I got to record myself working out. So I got to take the time to do that. My heart rate dropping. Like, I'm thinking about different things. I'm not thinking about, oh, let me see if this pose is the best. Let me see if this rep is the best. I'm trying to get this done so I can just post this little post that you want me to post.
Hold on. Now, Leanne, is that you right now on the panel? Leanne?
Wait,
Leanne? Okay, so that's not, she's off. Okay.
Okay, hold on for a second, Mr. Bliss. Leanne, is that you?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, you're fairly clear though. Cool.
I'm sorry, man. I'm not trying to disrupt stuff. My apologies. I'm just listening. Go ahead and continue.
Sorry, Mel. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, I just feel like everybody gets into this like overall approval, but honestly, what does anybody that's say 300, 800, 900 miles away from me, their approval mean to me as a whole? You don't pay my bills. You don't help me take care of my kids. You don't enrich me as a person. What does your approval mean to me? And I feel like we so locked in to social media that we let it take over. Honestly, when we get down to the nitty gritty, when we get down to the bare of it, none of that matters. And it just flabbergasts me so much. And it's just so crazy to me. And I like I said, therapy is not a bad thing. And I know we always want to say therapy is a terrible thing, but therapy can be anything. Like, some people run for therapy. They don't have to see a therapist. Some people write for therapy. Like, some of the greatest writers, like somebody probably could have said, like, if we look at King, that was his therapy. That was his outlet. If we look at Dickens, if you go back and look at what they say about his mental health and stuff, that was his outlet. So mental health can be anything. An outlet can be anything. It doesn't have to always be approval of other people. Therapy does not have to have this whole shade over it. But at the same time, why do I need your approval? What does that do for me? Like, if I wake up in the morning and say M3 don't agree with what I said last night, do you think that's going to ruin my day? I'm just saying, like, it doesn't.
Hey, you know, sometimes it does what people say when I don't agree with them. You'll be surprised.
No, I do be surprised at how personal people take stuff. Like, I never take anything personal. I never take it to bed with me. Like, I'm like, okay, that's their opinion. It is what it is. But so many people like soak in all that. And I'm like, just how? Like, even if I post something that I cook, somebody was like, ugh, I don't like the way it looked. Tastes good. I liked it. Okay, you ain't like it. But I do cook good, though, so everybody know. I'm a beast in the kitchen.
Man, and I think that's another thing, too. I think people in social media have to understand that. So everybody understand that, like, listen, you know, I'm going to say this and I'm going to be clear. You know, just because somebody don't like the way you move or they don't like something about you, you know what I mean? Don't allow them to stop your movement, man. Don't allow them to stop what you're trying to do. Don't let them stop what you're trying to build, okay? Because people at times, you know what I mean, they may have some other stuff going on. There may be stuff that they're dealing with internally, and now they want, you know, they want to lash out at you or whatever. Look, you know what I mean? Don't let that take you off your purpose. Stay focused on your purpose at all times. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, then guess what? You're going to be upset, and it's going to hurt you. It ain't going to hurt them. They're going to keep doing whatever they do. You know what I mean? Whether they're miserable, whether they're happy, whatever. You know what I mean? The Great Pill's a challenge, except that you can cook in the kitchen. Okay. So Great Pill want to challenge you to cook. All right, Great Pill. So that's the one thing. Never let nobody stop your movement. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is that if you already have done everything that you can in a relationship, and somebody still wants to be disruptive, or they want to be, or they want to cause drama, or whatever. Look, keep it pushing. You know what I mean? Keep it pushing. You know what I mean? Do not allow that to stop you from what you're trying to do and who you are and what your movement is. You know what I mean? Because if you let you let people say that don't like you stop you, then you're never gonna get anything done in life, because there's always gonna be somebody that don't like you. There's always gonna be somebody that's a detractor. There's always gonna be somebody that's a hater. All right? You just have to expect that. That just comes with the territory. All right? That's just what it is. I haven't heard from Chocolate or Miss O'Shun in a minute. Any of y'all want to chime in? You know, I think we can move on. So I think we covered the man and woman thing. What about?
I think I have something to add.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
And I will say this. So, Kings and Dreams, I did put in the chat, but he said Mel appears to hedge. I think it's because she doesn't want to offend the sisterhood, but Mel is feminine and wants to be on a man's program. At least times I've spoken before. Let me say this. And I did put a response in the chat, but some people look at the chat, some people don't. I'm going to say this. This is the thing. You can, at times, stand your ground, have your boundaries, and still take care of yourself and what you have to take care of. Still, at the same time, desire to want to be with a man and want a man to lead you. And I feel like that is the problem right there with you saying that. I am feminine. I'm very feminine, and I rest in that. However, if my grass need to be cut and I'm not with somebody, I'm not married or anything, and nobody cut the grass, I'm gonna cut the grass. If something is going wrong in a relationship, I'm okay with saying that I'm wrong if I'm wrong, but I'm also okay with having a conversation to see how we both can get better. I'm not a hedge. I'm not straddling the fence. What I'm saying is, it's a gray area, and it's always going to be a gray area because you're dealing with two personalities coming together to become one all the time. So you can't say, oh, I'm super feminine, I'm super masculine, I'm super independent, oh, I'm codependent, oh, I need a man, but I don't have to have a man, or none of that. And that is where the problem lies, Kings and Dreams. You can call me out as much as you want to. I'm not going to change it. However, I will say this. Do I believe a woman can take care of a household? Yes. Do I believe she can do everything a man can do? No, because sometimes shit be heavy. I lift heavy weights, but sometimes I need help. And at the same time, I want help. However, if you are not willing to put your puzzle piece with mine, then I'm okay with that. You're just not my person. I'm not saying I don't want a puzzle piece. What I'm saying is it can be different things. Like if you can cook very well in the kitchen, I have no problem with letting you in my kitchen, but I'm sensitive about my kitchen. But if I can build stuff good, then I can build stuff good. It's a give and take. Every relationship is not the same. I can empathize with my brothers the same way I empathize with my sisters. And I am feminine. Most of the time, because I coach, you might see me in some shorts and a t-shirt and a whistle around my neck. However, game day, I'm going to have on some heels and a dress. It's a balance. So it's not about being completely feminine. And I feel like so many people want to define it so much feminine, or you're masculine, or you're independent, or you want a man. It's not that. You just got to fit my puzzle piece.
Hold on, Mel. And I'm glad you said that, right? Listen, I'm gonna say this honestly, right? And anybody could agree or disagree with me, right? But I think the whole gender role thing, I think that's hypocritical. I think that's a bunch of hypocritical bull crap, right? And this is why I say that, because at times as a man, you're gonna have to submit to the will of your woman. Okay, you will have to if you want a healthy relationship. At times you have to submit to your will. It's give and take. You know what I mean? I can't always just be about me all the time. It's a relationship. You know what I mean? And I'm not in a relationship with a robot. I'm in a relationship with another human being. So yeah, at times, okay, cool. Honey, what do you want to eat? What do you want to eat tonight? You know what I mean? You want seafood? All right, cool. We'll do seafood. I'm submitting my will. Now I may not want no seafood. I may want some Hawaiian barbecue. You know what I'm saying? But that's not going down right now. My lady wants seafood. And tonight we're going to get seafood because that's what she wants. You know what I mean? So all that gender role and the man got to lift everything in the house and he got to always take out the garbage and he got to smell bad sometimes and all this other bullshit that y'all be pointing out here is just a bunch of bull crap. You know what I'm saying?
No, like intellectual. It's been sometimes like I done did some stuff in the garage.
Let me say this. Yeah, like you say, sometimes the woman got to take out the trash. All right, you know what I mean. Sometimes sometimes you may have to what I mean, cook up a meal as a man, whatever. Now I believe y'all should both have your different things that you do together. You know what I mean, or you have different things you do separately to improve the overall home, right? But all that, the man got to be the strongest. He got to jump in front of a bullet and all that. Look, man, if somebody about to hit you in the head with a baseball bat and you don't see him coming, is your woman just supposed to let them and say, oh my gosh, I don't know why he didn't see that coming. He's supposed to be a leader. He's supposed to be ready. And just let you get your head bashed in. Or if she got a weapon herself, should she then pull out her weapon and make sure that you live and she lives? Because a lot of y'all running around, y'all with women who they'll let you get your head blown off, and they're not gonna do the damn thing about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the BS that y'all, you know what I mean? A lot of y'all be preaching that men have to be Superman all the time. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I think that's the hypocrisy in it. You know what I mean? We say all these different things, but in reality, to have a stable home, we know that these things can't always happen the way that we picture them. You know what I'm saying? At times, like I said, relationship is give and take. So there's times where it's gonna be you that's running shit, and it's gonna sometimes your woman gonna be running shit in certain areas. That's just life. You know what I'm saying? Some great people say you're not ready. She said, podcast, bring it. Okay, all right.
Hey, we can have a cook-off. But no lie, I went to out of town and I was just watching. I was actually doing scouting. This is when I was coaching football, and one of the coaches she drove all the way out here by herself, and the head coach looked at him, and it was the other team was like, look at her, and it was like she seemed unassuming, right? And I'm telling you right now, if something go down, we gonna all be good. He already knew. I'm not gonna play with you. We gonna be good. I'm gonna make sure we good. And it's not me being over masculine. It's like at the same time, a woman is also a protector, because at the end of the day, if we look at like how we do the umbrellas, we God, man, wife, children, how it goes down. I'm gonna protect those around me as well. The people that I love and I care about, I'm gonna protect you. They said, "Oh, she good. You ain't never got nothing to worry about." I went to a summer league the other day, and one of the guys was trying to get me to come back and ref. And then I told him, like, I'm coaching at this new school, and he was asking, he was like, you gonna come back and ref? I'm like, I'm gonna come back and ref. And he was like, oh, that school, good luck. And one of the refs looked at him and said, oh, she ain't got nothing to worry about. Like, no, she gonna be good. And it's not because I'm over masculine. Honestly, at times, because of a woman's heart and the way she cares, it's not that necessarily she has to be masculine. That femininity can honestly bridge a lot of gaps. It can, like, showing somebody that you care, you love them, you want them to be better. You don't have to always yell and scream and be the loudest person in the room and be like, it's gonna go my way, it's gonna go no way. Sometimes submitting to that will is honestly the best bridge. You just gotta learn how to pick your battles. And I just feel like everybody want to be like, I'm in charge, and have that label on their shirt like boss. Sometimes, honestly, it's the people in the background that make you who you are. You don't have to have that boss label.
That's a fact. I'm gonna get to Leanne. So Leanne, now, since we're talking about this, I'm gonna go Leanne with it. So Leanne, do you believe that there's hypocrisy when it comes to men and women gender roles in relationships? Do you believe there's some hypocrisy in that? So I'm gonna go to you, then I'm gonna go to Miss Oshun, then I'm gonna go to Chocolate.
I don't know if I'm going to call it hypocrisy, because it depends on the people who are doing it. Like, hypocrisy becomes like an institutionalized norm. But there are people that don't want to recognize the contributions of individuals and their individual experiences in life in terms of what they bring to the relationship. I feel like there's a lot of situations, especially when you're talking about, who's talking about what and online, where they want women to somehow come to the relationship being less than what they are, to forget the experiences that they've had in their life due to whatever circumstance it is. They want to say, oh, you're choosing the wrong man and you're doing it. But these same people that are talking about women choosing the wrong man are talking about all these women that are nothing like me. So clearly they're choosing the wrong women. But that's not a factor in the opinions that are being voiced. And it's like, you got to come to the table as who you are and accept the person that's standing in front of you, and then make the decision of whether that person matches with you. And so then the hypocrisy falls away, because everybody else is a societal norm, and all of that stuff really doesn't affect the individuals when you come together one-to-one. Am I wrong?
Okay, I see what you mean.
I don't know a single one of us who's in a relationship that's going to gauge it against whatever society's expecting, or what society sees, or what, this group of 10 people who have all sorts of opinions online are talking about. It's how the two people relate, and what those two life experiences bring together. I mean, I'm a boss. I own my own business. I have always been self-employed. I have to take control of situations. I have to handle different personalities. I have to do stuff, and that's how I make my living. So I can't turn around and just turn that off completely and come home and be like, oh, honey, what you want for dinner? What's going on? And like, I like making my man dinner. I like serving my man when it's appreciated. And appreciated means that you're going to recognize that when I'm doing that, I'm making a choice. I am trying to please a personality. Sorry, dogs. Oh my God. Hold on. Come on. I'm sorry. I got chaos happening around me. It'll stop in a second. It's like, stop it. There's a whole bunch more going on. Get in here. Sorry, you guys. I just walked in the door. I got horse feeding, dog feeding, and
it's all good. It's all
varieties of chaos happening. So my apologies, you guys. I'm not trying to disrespect the process here, but I'm just trying to handle everything. But you know what I mean? It's like you can focus on all this outside external shit that has nothing to do with the people that are at play, or you can, decide, get in here, decide that those factors are going to be a driving force in the nature of the relationship at hand. And I just don't see the validity in that. I don't see the adult version of what that looks like, or how that like straight up comes to play. You know what I mean? So like, it should be the person that's standing in front of you, the person that you've made the commitment to, the person that is attempting to approach a relationship with you. That's the only opinion that matters. And that's what grown people do. The rest of this is subterfuge. This is just a bunch of shit that everybody else wants to pretend is important, while they have no demonstrable relationship in front of them. And they want to tell everybody else how it's supposed to be done. Every two people that come together, it's going to look completely different in reality, in my opinion. So all you can do is move in the world that's in front of you, and let that other shit fall by the wayside, as far as I'm concerned.
That's a fact. So I don't know if Chocolate or I know Shroom stepped away, but I don't know if Sister Chocolate is back. Chocolate, are you back, sister? Yes or no? No, I think she stepped away for a second. So I'm gonna go to M3. I think Lola stepped away too for a second. M3, man, is there hypocrisy in the gender roles when it comes to men and women?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, there's hypocrisy, like when it comes to how should I say this? So if I get to the men's side, there's hypocrisy, like when it comes to men saying that they want a woman to be fit, friendly, feminine, but then yet they don't really do the part to improve their own selves. So if you really think about it, it's like, how can you expect to be in a relationship with someone who's like fit, who's bench pressing like 300 like Melanie, but then yet you can't even like lift like a 10-pound weight? You know what I mean? Like your gut is hanging out there. You got the other 6-pack, you know, like the 6-pack beer. So, but yet you're still talking about like, oh, you know, women should still be able to accept you for who you are. You know what I mean? And then that's the same thing for like, you know, women as well too. Like, you can't expect to live like a modern type of lifestyle, having all these demands, and then yet you want the man to still be traditional, still act like a husband while you going out there in girls trips and hoeing around. Like, it just doesn't work like that. It don't make sense. Matter of fact, it would never make sense. You know, even if the people try to make things sensible, it just like an oxymoron. You know what I mean? So, yeah, the hypocrisy is definitely real, like on both sides. And I think until both men and women actually wake up and come to the realization that everything that you want, you will not get because you're not even on that type of level. So,
But I'm curious, have you been with women on girls' trips?
have I been with women on girls trips? No, why?
Well, no, I mean not been on a girls' trips. Have you been with women going on girls' trips?
No, I know a couple of friends who had women that went on girls trips.
Well, I know, but you personally, because we can talk about like, you know, what we know and what's been like what we've heard of and that kind of thing. But personally, I ain't never been on a damn girls trip.
Yeah,
Certainly
so
not when I'm with somebody.
Yeah,
So,
so
you know,
why not?
it apply to the reality of my life.
Okay, but why not, Leanne? Like, I mean, okay,
Well,
so
because I'm consumed with the day to day of my life and running my business and raising my family, and you know, I've been on girls trips, but never in a point where I was with a man that had an expectation of my behavior. But even when I've been on girls trips, I ain't going out there like, you know, looking to hook up with every dude that I run into kind of thing. You know?
okay,
It's just
Leanne,
not...
so I got a question for you. With you saying that, because it was gonna be a question for M3. Now I think this is your question. So,
Sorry.
with the girls' trip expectation, what are the girls on the trip? How what are their status? That's the thing. What's their status?
Well, I mean, all this is theoretical as far as I'm concerned, but the bottom line is if I'm with somebody, I'm with somebody. Like, I'm the gatekeeper to what goes on and how I behave. And that's how I move with the person that I'm with. I have never cheated on somebody I'm with. But I have been with somebody who I had been with, who then defined the relationship as we're not together, but it still looks like a duck and talks like a duck and walks like a fucking duck. So it might still be a duck. But they said the words, we are not together. And the worst thing that happened in that scenario is I got a text from somebody I'd never met that somebody tried to hook me up with, and he about lost his mind. And I looked at him straight in the eye and I said, are you confused? Because we had a conversation where you looked me square in the eye and you said, we are not together. And the whole time he's saying this and tripping out about a text that I got, he had a full-on relationship going on with some woman from out of town who was coming in and out, and he was hooking up with her whenever it came on. This is something I found out about by accident, but when I found out about it, I didn't trip because we're not together, quote unquote.
You should have hold on. I can't skate over this. I can't skate over this.
I would say hell no. So if he in a situationship with somebody and he in a situationship with you and you found out on accident, that means first of all, he wasn't trying to hide it. Second of all, he looked you in the face and told you that we in a relationship. So guess what? I wouldn't have been doing relationship shit, and relationship shit includes my time, my energy, my body. So, okay. Anyway.
Well, and I mean, and that falls on me. I take the full responsibility for any interaction that took place upon my awareness. Like literally, I'm sitting in the truck and this text pops up right next to me in full view. I don't look in somebody's phone. I didn't go through the text. I didn't do it. It was just right there. And I turned around and I looked at him and I said, "You confused, sir."
Leanne, you wanted your lick back?
I wanted my what back?
Your lick back. Like you want to get him like he got you.
No, man. I just kind of found it amusing, to be honest. And I got a little caught up in the irony of it and the satisfaction of the opportunity of eventually looking him in the eye when he started tripping over my behavior when his has been shady the whole time. And so I just kind of looked at him. I said, I believe you are seriously confused because such and such, and I made her name. And he goes, oh, well, you know that because you've been going through my. I said, no, actually, your phone was sitting in front of me and I wasn't even trying to look at it. And it just popped up. Beyond that, I don't know a damn thing that's going on. And it ain't none of my business because you said we're no longer in a relationship. And he's the one who got twisted. He's the one that got bent. I just enjoyed the few weeks of time where I could schedule events that he would rather spend time doing while I knew she was going to come into town. So I did participate in a little bit of fuckery there. But, you know, when somebody is kind of switching the script on you and still trying to get the advantage, I can't say I'm beyond the satisfaction of the I told you so that came down the road. But as soon as that came, I started looking at myself going, this is not who I want to be. And I called it for what it was. And I said, you go on and you do you, and I'm going to do me. And 3 months later, completely different chick. He gets engaged and gets married on Valentine's Day. And the last communication I had with this man was a laughing emoji of like, you fool. And that's it. And then I walked the hell away.
Got married out of spite.
Power is silence. So if you saw that, you should have moved in silence and just moved away.
And I absolutely should have. Yeah. And you know, we all do stupid shit in the moment, and I'll own it. That was my stupid shit, and I coulda, shoulda, and woulda, but I didn't. And I'm honest about it. But at the same time, it didn't turn me into the complete psychopath of like, what are you doing? What are you doing with my man? I ain't gonna play that game. He made it clear we are no longer in a relationship. And I kind of looked at him like, why you calling me every night? Why you going? What you doing? When you gonna come over? When you doing all this stuff? I didn't play that game. Well, and that's true. And that's it. And I own it. But that was a very short period of time in my life. And that was one of the first like fully serious, like I was all in relationships that I let myself get into in a very, very long time. So it took me a couple minutes to unwind my feelings from the situation and look at who I was involved with. And so, you know,
hey, battery in his car, so it'll start up sometimes, and sometimes it wouldn't start up. Like,
I was saying hi. I was saying hey to Leanne because I was stepped away.
Wait, guys. Let me say.
Out the windows. Just loosen the cables on his battery. Let the air out his tires. Don't flash the tires. Just let the air out. So he just gotta go get air in the tires.
Mel, it's the internet.
Yeah. Ladies,
take all the labels off his canned goods in the pantry.
Hey, Mel, hold on for 1 second, real quick. So Leanne, right? As you're telling the story, right? You actually proved my point, right? As opposed to like the hypocrisy that goes on between the opposite gender, except for like in your case, right? Your dude didn't want to treat the relationship as a relationship, but then yet he expect you to be faithful to him. He expect you to be loyal, but yet he can't even be loyal to you. Like he still want to eat his cake and ice cream, like nothing, like it's all good and sweet. But if you were to do the same thing with him, then he will have like a bitch fit about it. And that's the problem.
But the difference is in how you move from that situation. I didn't come after the chick who had no commitment to me.
Well, no,
I didn't trip on him and tell him, oh, well, you did this, you did that. I just looked at him and I said, excuse me?
Leanne, hold on for a second. But that's not my point. The point I'm just making is that, like, you know, like people make things like, you know, people are hypocritical when it comes to certain wants and certain needs. So, and it could be on both sides. Not you personally or whatever, like, you know, it sounds like you did the right thing. Good for you, right? But I'm talking about for people in general. You have a lot of these dudes and ladies as well, too, that want a certain, like, you know, woman or certain man to act and live accordingly to their standards, but then yet they don't want to follow the rules that they're putting out there. And that's the problem with these type of relationships. And that's why those relationships usually fail, because you want the cake and ice cream all at once, but then yet you want to give your partner like a few breadcrumbs or some salad or something. You know what I mean? So again, I'm just only here to try to make common sense great again because Mr. Best asked the question, so I'm just delivering the answer.
Yeah, I think, but we have to be careful about institutionalizing the concept of hypocrisy. Because yes, it does exist. There's a reason hypocrisy, the concept, exists between people, because we all can be guilty of it at certain points in times, in certain situations. And it's not always intentional. It's not always something that we walk into. It's not always something we're trying to get away with. But I think the trick is to nip it in the bud as quick as possible, call it for what it is, and be willing to walk away from that kind of stuff. And, I admit, I could have done it sooner. I should have done it sooner, but I found a little bit of personal satisfaction. I did get sucked into a little bit of the, hey man, I got tickets to this show. You want to go when I know this chick's coming in for the weekend? I wanted to make it a little complicated for him to make the choice. And I got a little bit of satisfaction in kind of getting that one up in terms of that stuff. But in the end, I really got nothing out of it. I figured out who he was, and I learned to walk away. So I guess I have to agree with you. There is hypocrisy that exists, but I think that's human nature.
He showed who he was.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to ask everybody just one last question before I dip out, right? And this question is going to be this: is it easier said than done? Until everyone gets emotionally attached, could you easily walk away from a toxic and mentally draining relationship?
No.
That's how I'm going to end off before I bounce.
May I answer, if that's okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
I did. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Even though I came from that situation of my parents, I saw abuse, verbal, physical, all that. I knew my worth. My mother made sure I knew my worth, and I fought to know my worth. I have had some of the most ridiculous things happen. However, I don't know what that is within you. I even had my mom tell me, I wish I'd have had your strength when I was your age. Because I was engaged twice. I gave that fool his ring right back. I think it depends. I know it depends on different women, but I want to say this. We also have to step on the toes of the societal pressure for women to stay in a relationship. And when I say societal pressure, I'm not talking about an entity. I'm talking about other men and women who influence our lives. And we know that because we've grown up and been made to see that a good relationship is 2 parents, your children, a house, even your grandpa. The grandpa might be living there. It doesn't, but that's not life. That's not life off of entertainment. A lot of women are encouraged to stay in bad relationships. Stick it out. We made a vow. Girl, you got to listen to him. Maybe you need to, and especially in the Black community, because marriage is not as high rated as we'd like it to be. When Black women get married, they are encouraged to stay in bad relationships, but they're not encouraged to know how to get out when it's bad. And so when I talk to other women or share my information with them, it was hard for me. Of course, I cared for these men at one point in time in my life, but I care for myself more. And that's how I landed.
Wait, hold on. I got a little bit of pushback for you, sister. I got a little pushback. If you any background, there's a party. Now listen. Now my pushback is this: men are also encouraged to stick in bad relationships too. Oh nah, dog, don't leave, man. She just got an attitude right now.
Yeah.
I know she tried to stab you with the knife, but it's all good. Women get emotional.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think what people do, you know what I'm saying? We know you care for yourself more. We know that, twin. We know that for a fact. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what I will say to you though, the reason I say that, and it is not, and you saying that to me is not pushback. I'm a woman, so I'm gonna speak from that view. I don't understand why men, to your point, I don't understand why we encourage each other to do stupid shit. I don't. When my friends, people I call friends, my loved ones come to me, I tell them the truth, even if they don't want to hear it. I don't have to be nasty about it. I don't have to be rude about it, but I tell the truth. The truth is, yes, I have my male friends who've been through some shit with some women that I would never go through. I have seen some of my closest friends, they trying to get their kids. So it's on both sides. It is for me without saying. Like I don't look at it as it's one side worse than the other. I will say though, the rate of unaliving women in comparison to men when it comes to the leaving is the scariest part of the relationship because you don't know where their head is at. Because unless you're a mind reader, you can discern, you can have all kinds of clues, but people will surprise you in how they act when they feel. And I'm gonna give you an example. I had my ex throw himself out the car because he did not want me to go home. This is a 30-something-year-old man. I had a man threaten to kill himself, run the car into the wall because I wouldn't pick up the phone. See, the thing that I wish we would talk about is the lack of coping skills that people have when it comes to rejection, when it comes to change within relationships. We are fucked up when it comes to dealing with rejection and pain and relationships. We're all riding by the seat of our pants. Now we done seen other people do it and be like, okay, if I get into that situation, I'll do it like that. But when you're in it, you might be thinking that, but you might freeze. You feel me? You might not even want to be involved in that. You have some people, men and women both. When I say people, I'm covering all. Please don't be offended. Men and women both, we are encouraged to lie to ourselves. That is the hypocrisy. That's where the hypocrisy comes from, is because we're encouraged. We encourage our children to lie. You tell your children lies. We make up shit so that it fits a narrative. And when the facts are bigger than the lies, it becomes a problem. And that's when men usually, and I'm a woman, I date men. So that's why I'm saying this. I am afraid of a lot of these dudes out here. I'm going to be 100. I'm strong. I'm a strong woman. I'm 5'8". I'm all of that. But that's not what I'm talking about. You got men busting in people's houses, taking out the whole families, blah, 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 blah. Every day, I got to watch this and hear this. And then you talk to dudes, because I still do. Like I said, I just stopped dating. I mean, I see a guy from time to time, or maybe if we go out, you want to talk, I flirt a little bit, but nothing where I'm committing to anybody. Because that's what I mean. When I say relationship, that means I'm committing to you. And I'm going to tell you something. A lot of these dudes ain't worthy of commitment. Shit, they don't even know what commitment means.
Those are always the men that think they're most worthy, which is ironic.
And money, and I say this to that point earlier, I had to step away. Men want to cry that women are all about their money, but they lead with their wallet and they dick. They don't come to the table with nothing else. No emotional or can I depend on you? If he was supposed to be my man, using me as an example, I got sick. I have something that's called dystonia, if anybody's ever heard of it. It is a really horrible nerve disease, but it affects not only your nerves, but it also messes with your muscles. So like you can contort. It's like having a Charlie horse all over your body, and it can be triggered by anything. So as a woman, of course, I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm unattractive. I'm not, what if this happens? And it also causes pseudo seizures. So sometimes I have seizures, and it's not anybody's fault or anything like that. This is just what is going on. And it's directly, and this is what I had told him. I said, look, this comes from my father because he was in Vietnam. He was sprayed with Agent Orange, like a lot of the black men then. And so it's a nerve agent. But when he went to the doctor with me, he gonna ask the doctor, well, wait, do you think exercise could help it? Now look
Well,
at
I
him on
will
that
give your
side.
dad this. That I am retired military. That is what they preach. They I still have multiple. I am a disabled veteran. When I say disabled, that does not mean unable.
Thank you for
Um,
your services.
So I've been shot a few times and stuff like that. They do enforce that standard and put that in your head. Like, we can do physical therapy, we can do this and this, but some things are beyond like those regular things. So your dad is only probably reiterating what's been drilled into his head for many years. So, and it's still a lot of people that don't understand the after effects of a lot of, like, if you do physical therapy, one thing for 6 rounds, which 6 rounds is at least 3 to 4, most of the time 3 to 6 months, and it's still not working. Maybe we need to move on to something else.
Right.
But besides that, they'll just leave it alone and be like, oh, well, it is what it is.
Well,
So
you know, they
same
finally
way-
said that neuropathy was a direct link to it. But anyway, to stay on topic, my bad. So my thing is, I think men are fantastic. I love men. I love my black men, those of you who deserve love. But I wish y'all would love yourselves more. I think if you did, I think you would see, because it's always so combative. I even, on these spaces, men are always ready to jump and argue with you. And when you don't come like that, or you don't bring that kind of energy, then you are an anomaly, like earlier. No, I know plenty of women who act this way. We're just not all on YouTube.
Right.
And I'm like, who are you hanging around with? So yes, I was happy that I was strong enough to walk away from a toxic relationship. And I'm happy that I was given the ability to see the signs. Enough was enough, because I am a person that gives grace. I am a person who will go, okay, well, maybe he having, he going through something, da, 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 da. We make all kinds of excuses. But as I've learned, the more excuses you make, the more shit they're going to put on you. And so I land with that, ladies and gentlemen.
Chocolate, what's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Taurus.
Oh yeah, you did say. Okay. I'm a Leo.
Well, you know what?
Try walking around like a Cancer, you ladies. Walking like empath, like everybody's crap.
Hold on, ladies, hold on. So I know Miss O'Shun is back. So I want to get closing statements, because we about to get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna land it. Any closing statements? I'll make mine as well about a lot of things everybody share. Yes, salute to the Zodiac Killer. You know what I mean? So Miss O'Shun, any closing statements? You know what I mean?
You know what? It was lovely as always getting up here with y'all. Some of y'all be cutting up. Y'all know how I feel about that. Shout out to everyone that joined the panel earlier that's no longer here. And I'll say, as far as why the hypocrisy continues, is because we let it continue. Because we don't speak out, and because we don't hold people accountable. And when I say hold them accountable, I mean literally, if you are not living the life that you are preaching, you will not be up here talking, acting, creating environments that you do not support in real life. Like, that's how we hold people accountable, meaning, no, you won't still be online getting accolades as if you are not a whole hypocrite. So that's really what's at the core of everything. And to the people who made statements about how women are, how men are, at the end of the day, what you hear on social media is not life. Real life is out there where you live it at. And so I encourage everyone to get out there and live your life and take examples and your experience from what you really live, not what you hear on social media or even on YouTube. Because this is not where real life is at. I promise you that. But, hypocrisy has to stop. I know we allowed it in the past, but it has to stop now, because we had the reason why we're here is because of hypocrisy historically, and we gotta wise up. So that's what I'll say about that.
Okay. Chocolate, go ahead, sister. We here. Closing statements.
Thank you for having me up. I really enjoy being up here with you guys. I want to say this. I do agree with Miss O'Shun about a lot of this is entertainment. However, there are people who are out here really trying to help other people. And I just I know this is a topic that has so many layers. Um, it's but it's a necessary conversation. So I hope you have a part two. And if you don't mind, I'd like to give a off the record, like a off subject comment for the audience and for the panel. If that's okay. It's real quick. I wanted to find out, sir, if anyone is interested in playing late night bingo, please hit your girl up. So that's all I had to say. I love it, and I hope you have a continuance to this conversation because I want to add the hypocrisy of sexuality in our relationships, and that's it. Much love to all of y'all.
Definitely. I definitely have a preview coming up too. So Miss O'Shun, I ain't forget about the preview. About to drop the preview pretty soon. You know what I mean? So Leanne, closing statements. Anything you want to say?
Yeah, man. It is about the conversations like this. It's the conversations where people are talking about their experience and they're listening to each other. And you're listening to the perspectives that are not yours. There's lots of platforms where people are talking about what men think about and what women think about, but you shouldn't be listening to it until it's coming out of the mouth of a man or a woman. Everybody's got their perspectives, and if we could all just like step back out of ourselves for a minute and listen to the experience of somebody else. I mean, what is it that Brene Brown talks about it? When you ask somebody to share their experience, the first thing you got to do is believe them. We all have this practice where somebody tells you how things have happened and how it's been for them and how they feel about it. And we're like, oh, no, it's not like that. Well, that's not for us to say because we're not in the first person. And so, we got to step out of ourselves long enough to like hear about it. And like, all right, well, that's your experience. For me, it's been like this because we want somebody to hear our perspective open-heartedly and genuinely and listen to what we've seen and what we've experienced. And if we can do that and give each other a little bit of latitude and some grace in the experience, I think we could learn a lot more. Instead of talking at each other, I think we need to be better listeners. And so I appreciate the platforms. Every time I've come up on your platform, it's been awesome. You got thinking people who are listening and respectful. We're not talking over each other. We're not diminishing each other's perspectives, and it's refreshing and it's productive. It has value way beyond some of the other crap that seems to be going on that I just can't even imagine who has that kind of time in their life. So much appreciation to you, and thank you, ladies. I love listening to what you have to say. I love hearing the perspectives, and I think that there's a lot we can learn from each other if we pay attention.
Definitely. Mel, closing thoughts. What you got to say, sister?
Well, first of all, I definitely want to thank you for always inviting me to join. I know a lot of times I just watch, I don't join, but I really be working on like clients, like profiles and stuff. But I will say this with hypocrisy, honestly, it's like you want to be what you're not, or you're saying something that you claim to be that you're not. So we have to look at everything for what it is. I definitely appreciate everybody's opinion. I definitely appreciate everybody not arguing, just acknowledging, listening, hearing everything that everybody had to say. I feel like you're heading in the right direction with like actually trying to figure out how we can fix this versus who's at fault. Because a lot of these panels are like, what's the problem? Who's at fault? You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. It's not a fix. So I think that's definitely headed in the right direction. I will definitely try to carve out more time to be a part of these panels because I am all the way in Florida. So I'm all the way on the East Coast. So I'll try to be more involved, but I definitely appreciate everybody's opinion. Thank you for letting me talk as much as I did because I know I came in on the back end and threw a lot at y'all, but I definitely appreciate it. But moreover than anything, I feel like, I ain't gonna say I feel like, I know that as men, women, black, white, other, whatever, however you define yourself, it's very important to actually learn who you are and actually learn to communicate with yourself before you try to put it on somebody else to try to teach you or to try to put something on you so you can learn about yourself. Like, take the time for you. And I feel like we don't take the time for ourselves. And I know it's hard. I know you have to carve out the time, but take some time to like just learn how you work, what you like, what you don't like, what you're willing to tolerate, what you're not willing to tolerate. And don't take what you see and what's cute as, oh, okay, I can deal with this as long as it look like this when other people see it. Because that's just only going to lead to a dead end. But I definitely appreciate you, Soapbox, all the time.
Thank you, family. Thank you. I appreciate you too. Appreciate all
Hey,
you
I'm in
ladies.
South Carolina, so come up and say hi.
Oh, don't threaten me with a good time. I'll be here.
Definitely.
I'm serious.
I will come and stop by and get a plate now. I'll be
ladies,
up there.
We'll hook you up.
I'm gonna put you on the background. I'm gonna put you on the back, right? It's just gonna be me and Miss O'Shea. I'm gonna put you on the background. All right, y'all don't gotta leave. Just put you on the back. All right. So now we are doing a preview. Okay. You know what I mean? The dragon is gonna speak, and she's letting it be known. Okay. You know what I mean? That listen, this is only a warning, all right? But this is only I'm dropping a little preview, and I'm gonna let the dragon speak for herself, all right? About the warning, and then I'm gonna drop the preview. Dragon, take it away.
Let me let y'all know something, right? Some of y'all, and I mean, you know who you is, right? And I ain't gonna say no names today because it's not necessary. But some of y'all don't understand that I don't play in comment section. Some of y'all think you want beef and you think you're going to pick a beef with a dragon in the comment section. But what's fitting to happen is you're going to pick up some real beef. Now, you don't got to listen to some people. You can keep on playing the 50 in the comment section. But I assure you, at some point, you ain't going to want to keep fucking with me in the comment sections. And I mean, take it how you live it. But I'm telling you now, I don't beef in comment sections. When I beef for real. So keep playing. Just keep playing. And I mean, you know, you're going to get what you're asking for. It is what it is. And that's all I'm going to say.
Good night, everybody. No said. Let me drop that outro. Y'all know what it is. With that, peace and love. You know what I mean? We out.